welcome to the Scratticus Academy. We are back with the last show of today, which I'm so excited for. Could you please check out, feel free to check out the links that are coming up in chat now. It includes all our links, our Discord, our YouTube, our merch, you name it, it's over there. And also a huge thank you to our wonderful sponsors who we could not do this without, in the form of Bird in the Storm and also Mage Hand Press. Other than that, I get to say it again this season. I'm going to hand over to the very lovely Hans. Very lovely Hans. Oh, hi.
Oh, hi. I had my mic on mute, as one does, and was not totally ready for that, but I guess I am. We're here. This is a new game. It's called HoroScoops. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I really don't have... I was not this prepared for the introduction. I'm going to go around in a screen-wise, clockwise fashion so that everybody can just say hi and who they are. And we're not doing character intros now. You have to wait a couple minutes and see that happen. So we're going to start with Sarah.
My name is Sarah, and I am so excited to be playing with all of y'all. This is my first time being a part of a season-long game with the Scratticus Academy, and I'm just so here for all the drama and the nonsense.
We call it evoking emotions.
We call it evoking emotions.
Scrat's gonna love that. And next, going around clockwise, is Allison.
Hey everybody, it's Allison. I am thrilled to be back at the Academy, and it's my first full season campaign as well. Could not be more excited tonight.
Yes. Alice, do you want to say anything about yourself?
Oh, hi. I can just say, oh, hi, I think I'm here enough now, but I'm White Rabbit Pick on Twitter. There you go.
Efficient. Okay, Sammy.
Hi, I'm Sammy. It's not my first season.
Okay, that was quick. And Mal.
Hi, I'm Mal. This is also not my first season, and I'm super excited to be back and to play with all these people.
So we're being very succinct because everybody's character is just dripping with secrets and drama, and we are saying nothing about it. No one knows anything about one another's characters. It is incredibly intense. We are ready for this game, I think. So I'm going to give you guys a real quick couple things you want to know about HoroScoops. Number one, it's a show. It's set in San Francisco in June of 2019. That's this year. So look forward to that. It's run in the Cypher system by Monty Cook Games, who is in the chat. So thank you, Monty Cook Games. We're going to be learning the system as we go because not everybody's actually played the game before. So hopefully we'll get that done. And there are donation incentives for this game. I didn't actually look at the thing, but we have two big things we're doing. Number one, we have HoroScoops. You will see how they are integral to the game. If you want to see a horoscope happen, you can make a donation, which I believe is set up in some fashion. I haven't actually checked this before the stream. And number two, we are playing with the Cypher System rulebook horror mode. So what that means is we start out with just a 1 on a D20 being bad, as is common in many games. And if you feel like you would like to see that become worse, there is a mechanic where you can contribute to the stream, and the numbers will escalate and become more bad so that we can have more and more things go wrong with the stream. Or if you wanted to, say, bring it down for some reason, then you could do that, and then it would get less bad. We're looking for less bad in that case. So if you are interested in doing so, feel free to contribute towards our horror mode escalation and watch the fun continue. So we're going to start with a scene here in Lafayette Park. This is a beautiful urban park in the middle of San Francisco, up on top of a hill. It's an evening time. It's dusk. So you can see the light is starting to turn orange. It's starting to fade in the background. Gentle sounds of children playing, people talking, lots of busy activity. It's been a warm day, but it's becoming a cool night. So you have that nice breeze that's kind of blowing across everything. The best place to stay in a warm day in the middle of summer in a park is in an ice cream truck. So pardon me 1 second as I respond to something important because I can't do two things at one time. You're in an ice cream truck. On the outside it says the cone zone. Sarah's responsible for this. It's her fault. But the important thing is right now you are all in this ice cream truck. We're going to talk about what you all look like once we talk about what the truck looks like. And Sarah, I'm going to lean on you heavily for this. Are you ready?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, let's talk about this truck.
So the outside of the truck is kind of like a retrofitted old school white van. It was clearly purchased at a steep discount. It was then gutted, and then a bunch of ice cream accoutrement was put in it. We see kind of the classic deep freezers for some of the easy to sell, $4 fancy ice creams that might have been made in a storefront. But then we also see the the holder where you can scoop fresh ice cream. And then there's a bunch of gadgets that are hard to explain. Basically, this truck has become wrapped up in all the stunt food and the trend. So there's like a waffle maker on one side, and there's like a deep fryer for doing taco cones and all sorts of stuff. And it's like reasonably well kept. And that's kind of what's going on the inside. The outside has kind of retro looking vibes on it. It's a little dinged up, but it's the best ice cream in the park.
All right. So where is Cameron in relation to this truck?
So I think she's kind of in the inside of it, stressing out about all of these people who are inside the truck. And she's just like, okay, guys, I know I said we could do this, but just make sure you cannot touch anything, okay? And if anyone asks, you weren't in this truck at all.
Now, we've got a wonderful cosplay going, but can you tell us a little bit about Cameron, what she looks like?
So we see a woman, she is wearing flannel over a metal band t-shirt. We see a crumpled up Cone Zone employee t-shirt like behind her in the driver's seat. And she's got kind of long, straight red hair and a very kind of no nonsense vibe about her, despite the situation she's in.
Okay, very good. Now we're going to talk about some of the other people that are in this truck. And we're going to go next to Josie. So where is Josie in relation to the whole ice cream operation?
We're in the truck. Yes, I just want to make sure that
Unless you don't want to be in the truck. Otherwise, you're in the truck.
No, I'm definitely in the truck. Josie is kind of pressed back against the side that's on the opposite where the window is, where you would serve ice cream from. And she hears Cameron say not to touch anything, and she kind of laugh to herself. It's the verbal equivalent of an eye roll. There's no way not to touch anything. We're packed in the back of this tiny van. She late 20s, early 30s, kind of hard to say. She has long blonde hair that she wears in a thick braid all the time. It's always kind of messy. She's got on denim cutoffs and a white t-shirt, and over it kind of a black blazer with gold buttons. It's that look that's ridiculously casual, but also looks completely put together. She's wearing some glasses today, just sort of round lens glasses that make her look kind of studious. And she's got a big Nikon D750 hanging around her neck.
This is a camera, correct?
Yes, it is.
I am just making sure that's for me. That's not for anybody else. That's for me.
That's a big old camera.
Okay. So let's talk next about Darcy. Where's Darcy in the ice cream truck?
Darcy is trying not to touch anything, especially now she's been told not to, and is literally trying to squish herself into the smallest shape she can. Kind of like feeling a bit nervous looking at Josie with the eye roll and everything, and kind of tried as much as she can to stand on the opposite side of the truck. She also has a camera clutched in her hand, which is to the side, which is a Canon 5D Mark IV. And she sort of holds it to the side, and half the time it's tucked underneath her very oversized knitted sweater that she wears, and you can see like the collar of her shirt peeking through the top. this scarf wrapped around these fairly baggy jeans and big heavy boots that she can tuck them into so she doesn't trip over anything. These round glasses that she keeps adjusting here and there as they get caught in her sort of a very dark curly sort of wavy bob that comes to just above her shoulders, which has been pulled back at the sides, and attached to her hip, not actually playing at the moment, is a very, very old Sony cassette player that she tends to always have attached to her side, but keeps forgetting it's there. But every now and then, she'll trip over the headset because she just wraps it around her neck when she's not using it.
It is wonderful, wonderful. Okay, we've got to talk about Lewis and what he's doing in this truck.
Oh, Lewis is definitely in the front, like jamming out. He has no idea what's going on behind him. But like every person, like he has the window rolled down with his tunes going, and to every person that's like passing by, he waves and tries to start a small conversation with them. Not the best at it, but he tries. He does have a fanny pack on. He's with also a camera. It's a Sony A7. And you know, just this guy in his mid-20s, fresh out of college, just trying to do what he can, living life to the fullest.
Okay, what is the tune that you were jamming out to? It's important.
Oh, that's a very big question. In a very Sam fashion, it's absolutely the DuckTales theme song.
Wow. Okay. Wow. All right.
I have a question. Is it the new DuckTales theme song or the original DuckTales theme song?
The original, 100%.
Impressive. We've got a cassette player, and we have the original DuckTales theme song. It's perfect. Okay, let's talk about Sullivan and his ice cream situation.
Sullivan's probably in the back by the back door where what the main entrance into the truck would be, and he totally is like about to touch the waffle iron or something when he's told don't touch anything. Sullivan's got a shaggy red mop of hair with some white patches in it, a scruffy 5 o'clock shadow. He's wearing a vest over his t-shirt. He's got arms full of tattoos. And after he stops attempting to fiddle with everything, he starts typing on his phone.
Okay. So all this is going on in the background. This truck is selling ice cream. There are about 10 people in line outside. The line is not moving quickly because the number of people in this truck is really making things hard for Cameron, who is the only person who knows where anything is in the truck. Additionally, the sun is setting rapidly. You're on top of a hill in San Francisco, but you're also in one of those areas where the buildings are taller than the park. So as it starts to get dark, it's also starting to have the sun fall behind the buildings, and you are hitting a rapid sunset. And I've got one more thing to tell you guys before we shift scenes, which is the reason you're in this park, waiting for it to turn dark, is you're here to get a picture of a werewolf. So look forward to that when we flash back to this moment. But first, let's talk about what featured this week in the HoroScoops horoscope section. I know it's so bad, but I had to do it. And I would also like to thank Heavenly, that is my real name. She is the one who named this website. She's responsible for HoroScoops. So if you enjoy it, please, notice her, recognize her. She gets all this credit for this. Our Aries horoscope for the week. New opportunities are presenting themselves to you. This is a time to take the next step on your personal journey. Keep your eyes open. If you blink, you might miss something important. With the moon in Sagittarius, things are going to get a little weird. But don't worry, you've got this. Embrace yourself and take a leap. So, we're going to talk about Lewis. Lewis, earlier that morning, you're in your parents' condo in downtown financial district, San Francisco. I was originally going to do Sullivan first. I have skipped that plan, just so we're clear. I went straight to Lewis. You're talking with your parents. You've gotten up. What time do you think is an average Lewis time to get up?
Probably rolls out of bed. He wakes up at like 10 o'clock, but he doesn't actually get out of bed till probably like 11:30ish.
Mm-hmm. I think we've all been there.
Yeah.
And so here's another question for you. What day of the week is the 30th? Do you feel like you're aware of that right now?
Oh, absolutely not.
Okay, cool. So it's apparently Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Because I planned this well in advance. I had lots of time and I chose to state purposefully and then noticed it's a Sunday. So you roll out. There is a posh, this is a condo, just so we're clear, your parents bought this after you went away to college. Your dad works downtown in the financial district. This was a huge convenience move for him where he can basically walk to work now. But when you were a kid, you guys lived in Santa Cruz. Your dad used to commute all the time. It used to be a huge hassle. Now, walks down the street. Maybe not so great for you because now that you've moved in the city, you're in the guest room. There are 2 bedrooms. There is your parents' room and the guest room. They've called it this ever since you moved in, having come back from college. And now as you come out into the living room, it looks like there's been a nice brunch. It's done. And dishes just kind of out on the table. Your mom and dad are sitting in the sunken living room, just kind of kicking back on the couch when you come in, and your dad kind of motions to you as you walk into the room.
Oh no, this is never good. I would very just look down, go to my place at the kitchen table.
So they're in the living room. You're at the kitchen table.
Yeah, I want to be a little bit away from them. Give myself some space.
So your dad is holding a printed out piece of paper, like one gets from the printer. And he says, Lewis, it's been 2 weeks?
Yeah.
2 weeks since you got out of college?
Yeah, I mean around then. Yeah.
Yeah, I think on Friday it was 2 weeks, so it's 16 days.
Yes, Dad, it's 16 days. You would know.
Right, so 16 days, and how's the job hunt going?
Oh, it's going pretty good. The economy, it's kind of tough, and so I've been really trying, but there's not a lot of jobs out there, Dad. Not a lot of things that I would really be that really fit my degrees, and that I'm really passionate about.
Yeah, it's hard. It's really hard. Sometimes what you have to do for a first job is just, you really have to just find something. Just try anything, anything.
Yeah, but I could also just try to get my dream job.
Which is
maybe you're right, and that I should just try anything. Maybe I should try a couple of jobs that sound cool.
Well, if you had your way, what would you be doing with your life?
Oh man, I'd be out there climbing mountains and Mount Everest. Someday I'll climb that. Swimming, just living life to the fullest out in nature. Just being one with nature.
Okay, yeah. Did you get a degree in climbing mountains? Was that what you went to school for?
No. Dad, you know this very well. I know.
I was there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you were at my graduation. You had to take the day off. I know. You told me.
Yep. So, photography, right? Photography? That's what you want to do with your life?
I mean, yeah, National Geographic. That'd be cool. Yeah, because you get to go climb and explore these places, and then, you're just out there. You, nature, equipment. That'd be
So here's how it goes. I found you a photography job.
Okay.
I already applied for you. They've got an interview with you in 2 hours.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going to need you to move your stuff out on Monday. Your Aunt Helen's coming into town. She's going to need a place to stay.
Can't she stay in a hotel?
She probably could. But we told her she could stay here, and, that's how it is.
Okay. Where's this?
Oh, here, I printed out the email for you. It's got the address on there.
Oh, thank you. This is kind of a far walk. Can I have some money for the subway? For the Muni?
You want to take it? Sure. If you're going to take transit all the way down there, you could do that. Or, yeah, that's fine.
I mean, how else? Can I take a car?
Yeah, you can get an Uber, I'm sure, or a Lyft.
Okay. Can I have money for the Muni, please?
With that, your dad gets into his shorts pocket and goes into his wallet and pulls out a $10 bill and hands it to you.
Thanks, Dad. I'll pay you back.
It's okay, son.
Okay. I'm just gonna turn my back and just walk away with the paper in hand and just kind of stare at it, kind of just reading it over and over again.
Yeah, so it's this super weird Craigslist posting that your dad has copied out. Like, he has taken the time to go to Craigslist and print out from the web browser this page. And then he has also taken the time to print out the response that he had to it. So yeah, it's an ad for a photographer or journalist. And it says, photographers and journalists in San Francisco, unique opportunity for skilled photographers, videographers, and journalists to be recognized for their talents and skills. HoroScoops is hiring for new positions effective immediately. Job responsibilities: must be able to travel and accommodate a flexible schedule, must provide own photo or video equipment, write copy and submit information to news aggregators, use social media tags to drive interest. Qualifications: knowledge of social media and online media, resume and portfolio required. Compensation: depends on experience, employment type, full-time or part-time. To apply, email info@horoscoops.net. And then the other part of the email is a very fancy looking, like, Word template type resume that has your name at the top, and everything on it is a lie except the date you graduated university. You have a lot of skills on here that you have never even heard of.
I'm gonna go.
Oh no, I was going to say you're an Eagle Scout now, apparently.
Oh boy. Okay. I don't know what it is. Scout's honor. I don't know how many fingers they hold up. Is it
I would Google it if I were you. I don't know.
Everything on there that, like, I'm gonna Google all the words I don't know because I'm sure my dad put in so many things that I just don't know what they mean. And so, like, I'm gonna Google it, and, like, luckily I keep a pen in my fanny pack, which I'm 100% wearing to the interview. And I'm going to, like, write down the definitions of everything that he said about me. I'm gonna Google how many fingers is a Scout's honor, and I'm perspiring, and I'm gonna get my suit on and grab my fanny pack and go. My fanny pack was already on. I'm gonna get my suit on under my fanny pack, and I'm gonna go.
Okay, so you're gonna wear a suit and you're gonna go ride the Muni Transit across San Francisco. Cool. It's gonna be good. People do that every day, so it's not really a thing. It's just Sunday, so
yeah. Hopefully, I have enough time. I mean, the buses usually travel pretty on time, but, like, I might have to take, like, a little indirect route, but hopefully I have enough time. I didn't actually check the time before I asked my dad. We'll see.
Yeah, you've got a couple hours. You should be okay. Now, if you're not familiar with San Francisco landscape, the fun thing is, in the financial district, you're like in a pit. like a basin at about bay level. And then if you were to actually go up to where you're going up by Lafayette Park, you're going to be going all the way up the hill like this. So Uni's probably a good call. That's probably a better idea. It's a good thing you're not trying to walk this or something crazy, because it's going to take a while. And it's a little bit warm today, so by the time you get there, you're probably going to be feeling it in the suit.
Perfect. I'll actually, if it's a little warm out, I'll take off the suit jacket. I'll just kind of take it off, and then I can't do it on here. I'm way too restricted. But I'll take it off, and I'll kind of like hold it like the cool kids do with their finger in the little loop around my back. And until I get into the hopefully air-conditioned office, we'll see. Fingers crossed. And then I'll put it back on when I get into their office, or to their building, I should say.
It sounds really good. I'm going to do a music change here, and I'm going to take just a second to focus on that, because I think this spooky theme song has been going on this entire time. And let's see if we can do something else that's different. And we'll just have some nice background music. This is not in any way intended to be ominous, just I need to go ahead and do. So we're doing June 30th. It's a Sunday, by the way. Sorry, guys. Again, can't process more than one thing at a time when I'm running a game. So, HoroScoops. You've gotten up to this place. You're up the street. You're off of Kearney somewhere. So this is like Chinatown adjacent. You're not in Chinatown, but there's an area that's kind of outside of there where if you were to look, let's say, towards the sea, you'll be able to see Chinatown with its like big elaborate gate and everything like that. And if you look down, you can look all the way down the hill to the area you were in the financial district before. HoroScoops is a small brick building. It's the kind of place where you can see that there's a storefront and there's probably apartments up top. And where are we at? I gotta pull down a little bit to what I'm looking at. So out front, there's a logo. It looks like the logo that we have on Roll20. So for those of you who don't know what this looks like, there's kind of a hand picture. It's called a Hamsa. And across it says HoroScoops, Beyond News. In an orange font, the outline of the picture is in blue, and there's an eye on this palm, and the dot for the eye is also orange. So it's a picture. Did you do any sort of research on the bus ride, anything like that we want to talk about now? Cool. Just wing it. So you've got a little time.
I think I'm still trying to write down all those things. I don't have a very large vocabulary, and so I'm just trying to find out everything my dad said, because he, unlike me, he's very well spoken and well read.
Good stuff. So when you get up to the door, there are two doors. There's like a left-hand side door. It's got a mail slot. It has one of those no soliciting and a lot of little association signs on it. And then there's a right-hand side door that doesn't have anything on it. They've both got the horizontal blinds, like Venetian blinds, in the windows. And then the left-hand side has a much bigger glass pane window, and it also has Venetian blinds. They're all white. They look pretty new and clean. Everything about the building on the outside looks really new and clean. Like, not a new building, but definitely cleaned up recently.
Oh, I have a bad feeling about this. Nothing. Okay.
That's how job interviews go.
I wipe my hands off all my pants, put my jacket on, and try to open the door. Is it unlocked?
It is, yeah. And by the way, Scrat pulled the logo. So for those of you who were wondering what I was describing before, it's on the screen. Thanks, Scrat. So, So you open the door. There is a gentle jingle, like of a bell, and you look down and there's a bell that's tied to the interior doorknob. And there's a very clean, thin white desk. It looks like it's composite wood with chrome, what's the word I'm looking for? Legs. And there's a swivelly desk there. Yeah, there we go. Something like that. And the chair has one of those S-shaped backs that looks really uncomfortable. It's white and it's kind of made of slats, but the slats are padded. Big armrests. There's a couple of armchairs over on your side where you've walked in. There's a little table, has some magazines on it, and there's this and that, just old stuff, really. And the last one on top says SF China Weekly. So that's all off to one side. You can look back and there's a framed entranceway, and that seems to be going back into, you see a couple white desks. As you're seeing this, there's a guy walking up towards you. He's wearing a Hawaiian shirt and a t-shirt He's an Asian guy, maybe like mid-30s, long hair, very much unlike me, pulled back into a ponytail. And he has like hints of a beard at this point. And he looks excited, nervous. Like, you know, he's got some anxiety emotion going as he's walking up. Hey,
Hi.
Hi, which one are you?
Like, which person am I?
Yeah.
I think that's probably a better question to ask is like, who are you instead of which one are you? Just for
that's a
future.
good point. Yeah, that's something. Yeah. So, hi, I'm Bill. Who are you?
Oh, hi, Bill. Nice to meet you. I'm Lewis.
Hi. Oh, okay. Lewis. Yeah. Okay. Hey, you're early. Hey, good job.
Yeah, you know, I didn't know how long it would take with transit. You know how public transit can be.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you know, I just kind of decided to come early. Is that okay? I hope it's okay.
Yeah. There's a few people coming in. I'm sure anybody else who comes in is gonna wait. It's gonna be fine. Okay. So this is like the reception office. This is a reception room.
Okay.
And then he's pointing over his shoulder. There's these two long white tables. You can see computer workstation set up. That's the bullpen.
Oh, okay.
You can look, you see a little bit further back, there's like a half wall that looks like there's a little kitchenette. You see there's a hallway going back down there this is on your left side. Yeah, let's say your left side. And then on your right side, it looks like there were originally 2 suites for this building and the walls been cut through. So there's an entranceway and the tables for the bullpen go on into that room as well. So you've got kind of like this staggered table formation.
Okay. You know, this is a lot different than the bullpens you see at the baseball games. Am I right?
Oh yeah, that's good.
Yeah. And anyway, yeah. Okay. Cool.
Okay, so let me show you back. There's you're walking back. The walls are all white. Everything is freshly painted. You can smell the paint still. There's one like big bold blue stripe going vertically on the wall on your left. There's another one on the wall on the right. And then there's some symbols that are kind of like painted across the wall in orange. There's a lot of symbols. I'm going to guess at this point they don't really mean much to Lewis, so we'll just keep going with that because you get about seconds to look at them.
Wait, can I ask? Like, hey, what are these? What are these symbols?
Oh, so those are like Greek zodiac.
Okay. Oh, okay. Is that it? Or you don't talk very much, do you? You've been very succinct with your answers.
Yeah.
Case in point.
Yeah. So did you need more?
I mean, I was just curious. We could keep going. You made this weird. Let's just keep going.
Yeah, it's weird. Okay. Come on.
Oh, I'm glad you think so too. Okay. Yeah. Let's go.
Yeah, so he walks you back, and the same way there's a hallway in the first suite, there's a hallway in the second suite. He's walking around the corner to the left. There's a door to the right that's closed. The door to the left has a window in it, and it looks like it's a very small office. It's got a desk, same white composite, same chromed legs. It's got a computer terminal on it, and it has a chair that has that same S swerve for the desk chair. You've got a high-backed, kind of comfy-looking armchair for the guest chair here. And on the desk, here's a cup of tea. Doesn't look like anything fancy, just a white mug with tea in it. Okay, go ahead, take a seat.
Oh, this looks really comfy. And I'm gonna kind of start running and then stop myself and just fast walk and hop into the seat.
Yeah, there's that stiff creak from a chair that maybe has not been sat in before. It's a really new chair.
Oh, is it comfy?
It is comfy, especially by standards for office furniture. It's it looks good, but is also comfy. It's got everything.
Yes. Oh, this is a really comfy chair.
I haven't sat in it.
Oh, do you want to come sit in it? We can switch sides if you want.
No, I think we should probably work on getting this done.
Okay. Yeah.
So he pulls a clipboard over. It's got your resume that you were just looking at earlier on it. Okay, so
Sorry, let me just pull out my resume as well. You know, like sometimes I just need the refresher, you know.
Yeah, sure. I don't even know what a lot of this stuff means. So you're a photographer.
Yeah, I just graduated from UC Santa Cruz with the photography.
Cool.
Photography.
Do you like to keep in shape? You know, get active, do things that are active?
Yeah. Oh, I see. I somehow forgot to list on here. Yeah, I worked at the outdoor center at school. Don't know why I forgot to list that. I love to like go hiking and surfing, any type of outdoor activity. You can't get me out of the outdoors.
Okay. Yeah. All right. That's good. Do you know the area pretty well?
Yeah, I've lived in Santa Cruz my whole life, and so I've come up to San Francisco quite a bit. You know, kind of know the whole Bay Area fairly well.
Very good. So here's the thing. I need you to make a roll now. We're finally going to get into how rolling works. So here's a real quick overview for everyone. When we're rolling in the Cypher system, there are levels from 1 to 10. You have to roll on a d20 with typically no modifiers, and whatever the number you get, it has to be the level times 3. So for a 1, you have to get 3 or more on a die. For a 10, you have to get 30 more on a, or 30 or more on a die, which is impossible. So you're trying to use things like skills and assets and effort to bring your difficulty down to where you can manage it. So it's a very player-facing system. You have to decide how hard you're going to work on things for this. I don't like secret difficulties because I feel like then that cheats, you know, some of the system. It doesn't make things as easy for you. So we're working with a roll where the difficulty is only 2. So you have to roll a 6 in order to make this. I will remind you that if you roll a 1 right now, oh, I'm sorry. Alice is getting things set up for me. If you roll a 2 or less, because we have just increased the horror track, if you roll a 2 or less, things are going to get bad.
I don't like this. I'm a notoriously horrible roller.
That is the best part of this entire thing. And of course, we have all of the normal Excellent Academy advantages and disadvantages and so forth going. So typically, you could have a better chance of rolling well or a worse chance of rolling well. So many things to look forward to.
Yeah. Is this an intellect roll?
Thank you. It is an intellect roll. This is generally perceiving the environment. So any perception-related skills work for this. And you only have to get a 6.
Oh, right. I have skills.
Yeah.
Does trivial knowledge count?
It does not in this case, but you could think about other things. Assessing danger, lies, etc. That one there.
I have to, yeah.
That one works.
Oh, okay.
So really right now you have to roll a 1 or rolling 3 or more, pardon me. And then if you wanted to, you could spend effort and just automatically succeed.
No, I'll roll. Okay, so do I click on the intellect roll? I'm sorry, I've played this like once. And so I click.
Great.
Okay.
If you click the little die that's to the left of the word intellect, it should roll for you. If it does not, that's my bad.
And then do I get no bonuses? Or
you
is
have
that
no bonuses.
No bonus, okay. And then the difficulty you said is a 1?
Right. So right now it was a 2. You've reduced it to a 1 with your skills. So don't put trained if you do that part.
Oh, okay. I did that. No asset. Okay. There's no cost associated with this?
That is correct. This is how the whole API gets set up for the character sheet. Now everybody knows, oh, you got so lucky, right? You got a really good roll.
Oh, I'm so happy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if we look at the little block, it says the difficulty was only 1. You had to roll a 3. You rolled a 14, so you could have beaten up to difficulty 4.
That was so stressful.
I know, going first is the worst, isn't it?
It is. I don't like this at all.
Thanks for putting it, Sammy. Okay, all right, I'm glad. So we've got this first roll. You've made it through. Hey, that cup of tea that's on the desk. Since you came in, it was like warm. It was warm. Now that you're here, the tea, maybe it's still warm, but it's changing color. It's becoming very dark. Like it looked like maybe it had been steeping for a bit. There's no tea bag in it, nothing like that, no leaves that you can see, but it's dark now. It's getting inkier and blacker as this goes on.
Are you gonna drink your tea?
No. By the way, I did not mention this earlier, and I feel like it's a gimmick. I got you now. But in the room, on the upper right corner, as you're looking, there's a security camera type camera on the wall, pointed in your general direction. I know, now I feel bad not saying it earlier. So that's there. The tea is turning a very dark color. And Bill does one of those things people do and pulls his phone out of his pocket and looks at it. Goes, okay, so maybe we should just try this out.
Okay, but why is your tea turning dark when there's no tea bag?
Yeah. So, I mean, what do you think? Are you interested in journalism? Is it something you want to do? He takes the tea off the desk and you can hear him pouring it in his trash can.
Are you a writer? Are you a politician? Because you're really good at avoiding answering questions. But yes, I would like to. But also if you could answer my question.
Okay. I've got an application for you to fill out. You can fill it out in the kitchen. You want like a water? We have an espresso machine now.
I think I'm
tea.
Good. No, I don't want it. Actually, tea would be nice.
Okay, come on. And he walks you out of the room. So we're going back into that bullpen, past those S-shaped desks or the offset desks, and into the kitchenette. And there is an espresso machine. It looks like a really fancy all-metal Italian model. There is a selection of like the Stash brand herbal teas, like, cheap herbal teas and so forth. And then this kitchenette is, it's pretty nice. It's got like a newish looking granite countertop on one side. It looks like they prepare real meals here because it's got a stove, it's got a toaster. And then there are, in the window that looks out on an alleyway, unfortunately, but the window that looks out here, there are a lot of herbs. There are pots of basil and rosemary and some other green stuff, and it's hanging down and it's kind of like spilling over. I don't know how good Lewis is with herbs. I think we'll just stick with some other green stuff for now. So there's a lot of herb stuff on this side. There's an espresso machine. There's a whole bunch of tea. There's an electric kettle. There's a fridge. And Bill hands you a clipboard and goes, okay, get something. If you want something, go ahead, make yourself at home.
What was that tea that you had? Can I have some of that?
I don't have that back here.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm watching you go. I feel like we're going to be really good friends. Thanks. I'll fill this out.
Yeah, that's good. The doorbell does a little ding, ding, ding again, and Bill starts walking that direction. Like a lockstep as he slides out of the kitchenette door, a lady appears who is, how tall is Lewis?
That's a good question. Lewis is he's probably about like 5'10".
Okay. So you hear this like strong clop of boots, and she is just a hair shorter than you, but dark hair, maybe, Chinese, maybe, mixed features. She has like real gentle freckles here on her face, pale skin, kind of like a slim, what's the term, oval face, something like that. And she is wearing a black blouse that has no sleeves and has kind of like a roughly lacy front. And she's wearing a black skirt that's just high above the knees, and then fairly long socks and Doc Marten boots. She has a very serious face as she's looking at you.
Hey, how's it going? I'm Lewis.
Hey, I'm Agatha.
I'm sorry, did you say Agatha? Is that what you said?
Yeah, Agatha.
Oh. How are you doing today?
Fine. You're gonna do the paperwork, right?
Yeah, I'm doing it now.
Okay.
I probably need a pen. Let me grab. Okay.
Yeah.
Am I supposed to turn my paperwork into you, or do I turn it back into Bill, or how does that work?
No, if you give it to me, I'm just gonna give it to my uncle anyways. It's fine. Look,
who's your uncle? Would I know him?
You just met him. That was Bill.
Oh, Bill's your uncle.
Yeah.
It would have been a lot clearer if you just said Bill, but okay, yeah.
Look, do you want to watch the next guy get interviewed, or do you want to just sit in the kitchen?
Do I want to watch the next guy and get interviewed? Absolutely, I do.
She pulls out her phone, and she's got the view of the camera you were just looking at.
Oh my gosh, Agatha, we're gonna be such good friends. And I put my arm around her.
Look, you cannot be loud. They're right there.
Oh my gosh, Agatha, we're gonna be such good friends. And then I squeeze her a little tighter.
I don't think you should touch people without consent.
I'm so sorry. I take my arm off. Can I put my arm around you? Okay, I'll do it again. I'm sorry. And I get back to writing my application in while also watching the interview.
And
But
that's our cut. So, I don't know. We'll find out after this scene where we deal with someone else. We're going to talk about Sullivan. So Sullivan, he wrote his own application. He got it off onto the interwebs. He did it all by himself. So where do you want to start with here, Mal? Do you want to start with walking in the door?
Yeah. So he walks in the door, having made his way from Chinatown, and he's got an open box of takeout that he's eating as he walks in the building.
Okay.
And he's just dressed like this. He's wearing his everyday look.
So you are confronted from Bill walking up. So you've heard the building layout. I'm going to assume you were paying a little bit of attention. He's walking through the bullpen towards you. And as this happens, he looks at you and then he's looking at the food you're holding. Are you using chopsticks or a fork?
I'm using chopsticks. And
Okay.
I know how to use them too.
That's good. And what did you get?
Probably lo mein or something. Something with long noodles.
Okay. So looks at you, takes a second. Sullivan, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm Bill. Yeah. So this is the place. It's pretty straightforward. Did you look at the website? Do you know anything about us?
I mean, what you wrote on the ad, and I took a little look around.
Okay. So HoroScoops is a website, has like a very BuzzFeed feel. There's lots of stuff you can click on. There's pictures, posts. A lot of the site seems to be pictures, and a lot of it is also not in English. There's a whole international directory section that has a lot of ads from the place you were just at in Chinatown, also some of the Japanese, Korean, Thai businesses in town. So there's a lot of stuff that is not in English. So just something to think about for background information. And as you're walking now into the back, Bill's like doing this with his hands and kind of like walking backwards, hits the edge of the first desk, keeps walking back. Okay, so this is the bullpen here. And then and he walks around the corner, and then my office is back here. So come on in.
He follows, just slurping the noodles the whole time.
Yeah, do you need a napkin or anything?
No, I'm okay.
Okay, cool. I'll be right back. So Bill walks towards the back some more. And while that is happening, Lewis is actually getting up for a second. But Lewis, don't worry. For just a second, Agatha turns around, does something in the kitchen, comes back over towards you. And Bill walks into the office again. He's got a cup of tea, puts it on the desk. Okay, so social media.
Yeah, so that's, I sent you examples in the reply. That's kind of what I do. I can...
Looking at some stuff on his computer. Okay.
Yeah, that's... I've got a little bit of photography, but I don't have a camera right now. I've got... mostly what I'm good at is running the social media stuff, driving content, viewers, that kind of engagement, that kind of stuff.
Okay, so it all sounds really good. And, I do our social media stuff right now. I want to get my hands free a little bit. So I'd like that. But I need people to be able to go out of the office. So
I can totally do that. Yeah.
Okay. And maybe we can work out some sort of like, here's a reporter doing the thing, and here's you taking a picture of the reporting going on, or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, and he's clicking around on the computer. By the way, we have had another horror increase. The threshold has gone up to 3. And Mal, you get to make the same roll that Sammy was making.
Cool.
So again, difficulty is 3 if you have perception skills.
And
yes, intellect.
I don't believe any of my skills are perception skills. Nope, that's not what I want. Yeah, I'll just roll intellect.
Cool.
That doesn't beat a 3.
Well, you didn't have a 3 as a difficulty. You had a 6. You had to get a 6. The level was 2. You're doing great. Everything's good. And see, the number was you couldn't get 3 or less on a die. Otherwise, bad stuff would happen. Ceiling would fall in. Monsters would eat you all, that kind of stuff. But not right now. So the tea on the desk smells really, really good. It's got like an herbal, like maybe an earthy, maybe like a green tea, like a long leaf green tea. And so you're sitting and he's looking at the computer. He's not even looking at the cup of tea. And while he's doing that, the tea leaf pops up out of the water. And then another tea leaf pops up out of the water. And then they start kind of like snaking tendrils down the sides of the cup and crawling down onto the desk.
I just sit there and watch it and eat my noodles.
Okay. And Bill's doing some other stuff, and he does like one of those jerks, and you realize that he's got a phone in his back pocket because he pulls it out, and then he looks at the desk, and then he looks at you. Okay, I've got some paperwork for you to fill out, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Come on back. And he takes you to the kitchen.
I'm gonna pick up the mug of tea and take it with us.
Okay, that sounds good because you got there just before Bill put his hand on it, so you've got that. And now here's another question. Lewis, you and Agatha are sitting at one of these desks. There's like the big long bullpen desk, and you guys are sitting there now. She's got the phone propped up against the edge of the computer, and right now Sullivan is walking in your direction. What are you gonna do?
I'm going to like act like I'm doing my application and just write.
And she just like swipes the picture of the office off of her phone and keeps doing what she was doing before.
I'm gonna kind of like try to make small talk very awkwardly with her. Ask her if we can be best friends still.
She's on Instagram right now and she's doing something with it, and she is ignoring you. And when you start talking, she does swivel the chair away a little bit and keep doing this. But at this point, don't worry, because now Sullivan has walked in. So you have another opportunity for a best friend. We are also just like one last little second. When you guys have gotten the kitchen tour and so forth, Bill walks out of the room and Agatha says to you, Sullivan, what's your name?
Sullivan O'Callahan. You can just call me Sullivan.
Okay. Agatha, do you want to watch when the next person comes in?
Heck yeah.
And she shows you the picture of the office. Okay. My personal voters are Cameron. Do we feel good about that? Let's do Cameron. So where does Cameron start out on this? Do we want to start as you walk in the door? Do you feel like you need a lead in?
No, I think she is doing the classic. She has a book open and she's taken the transit so many times and she kind of knows her way around this part of town. So she's just on autopilot while trying to finish this chapter.
Okay.
So she just like bings the doorbell and lets herself in.
Yep. So, and you realize that the bus has stopped on kind of an incline. So you're ending up stepping down a little harder than you expected maybe as you're getting out of the bus, but you got the book there. HoroScoops office is right there out in front. Real easy to see.
Looks like the right place. And yeah, she'll let herself in and kind of poke her head around expecting for someone to be there to greet her.
Yeah, and there's 3 people kind of whispering in the back. You can just like see them in the distance as they're in the bullpen. And then walking past, Bill walks up to the front and he goes, hey, I'm Bill.
Cameron, nice
Okay.
to meet you.
Cameron, all right. Yeah, let me show you back. And he talks to you about the bullpen as you're walking. You see Sullivan and you see, I don't know how much Lewis is hiding, and Agatha clearly not looking at either of them, swiping on her phone, walks you around the corner and back towards the office. And
Sullivan would totally look up and wave with his chopsticks as they walk by.
Dude, you can't do that.
Why not?
I don't know. Agatha like made it seem like we have to
Don't
act.
talk to
Like
me.
I'm not talking to
Don't
you.
talk about me.
We're gonna be best friends.
No.
My best friend decided that like we can't act like we are watching people, and so you gotta like not look like you're watching people.
This is the trailing into the conversation you can hear as you walk into the office where, again, guest chair, office chair, cup of tea on the desk.
She'll close her book and look across the table. So those are the other staff?
Yeah, everyone's pretty new. We're doing interviews on a Sunday, kind of weird, right? So yeah, just new people.
Okay, yeah. No, looks like you're building out a good team here, I guess.
Yeah, so you do fiction writing.
That's true. Yes, actually, yes. I also dabble in some journalism and kind of politics writing, but my passion really is in fantasy writing, actually.
Okay, so
yes. Oh my gosh.
how's that going to work here?
Well, so my take is I like to look at the current situation in a community or maybe dealings by a big corporation or the current political situation. And I like to boil that down to kind of the core of what's happening. And then I like to inject it with kind of a pulp fiction sort of feel. And I like to make it more accessible to the readers and to, people who want to interact with that content by making it fun. Usually that means adding vampires or werewolves or shades or ghosts or wendigos or you know.
Let me ask you this. How concerned is Cameron with picking up Bill's vibe right now and trying to read how he's reacting to her story?
Cameron is actually so deeply excited that the first thing he asked about was her fiction writing and not about her like real journalism writing that she's picking up on absolutely nothing.
Awesome. So glad to hear it. Okay, so Bill says, okay, have you looked at the site?
A little bit, yes, in preparation for this interview, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think this is going to work out.
I'm sorry, I think this is a really good fit. I think that your paper could really use my kind of unique point of view, maybe add in a new section within your website and kind of drive new traffic, I guess, people who have a different sort of look on the world.
This is, it's news. It's a news site.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I do, right? I take the news, I distill it down, I turn it into something that's a little bit more fun. I think actually that might fit more with some of the types of fun articles and quizzes you have going on your website.
Yeah. He takes your application, he's turning it face down on the desk. I don't think it's going to work out. I need you to make the same intellect roll everybody else has been making.
Okay.
Pro side, horror threshold still just 3.
Let's roll it quick then.
Yes. You can really just take your time.
So I'll expend some effort on this. Okay. Cameron, I think, actually cares about this. She got excited, and then he started to kind of rip the rug out from under her.
Okay, so real quick to talk about how effort works. This is an intellect roll. Spending 1 level of effort, which is the max you can do at your tier 1 character level, is you would spend 3 points, but you have an intellect edge of 1, so you're going to spend 2 points to do this. So you drop your current by 2, and then you're going to go ahead and make a roll, and it looks like doesn't really look like you have any particular skills that are going to assist this. So it's going to be just a regular roll.
Oof.
No pressure.
All right. I think I got it.
Okay. Looking good, looking good. So you actually put the difficulty higher than it needed to be because you only needed a 2 and you rolled an 11. Oh. So I know I may not have been making this clear. I keep saying this horror threshold number like it's something different. So when you roll 1, 2, 3 on the die, that's when bad stuff happens. I'm going to try to clarify that language as we go on. Yeah. So doing great. That tea smells really good. Are you a tea person at all, Cameron and or Sarah?
Yeah, both.
This is a very floral tea. It looks kind of like deep in color, but it's more like a yellow than a dark brown. And you're getting like a lot of, like maybe this is like a Chinese, like a chrysanthemum or something like that tea, because it's got a very strong floral smell. It's really good. Bill has his phone. He's like taking it, and he's taking this folder, and the phone buzzes. By the way, while this is going on in the other room, Agatha is typing a message to Bill on her phone.
What are you saying, Agatha?
Okay. You know what? Let's try it out.
Okay. Yeah. I think we could try this out. I mean, I think we got similar taste in tea, so that's looking good for us, right? So.
Yeah, it's good.
Come back tomorrow. Or
are you doing anything right now? Can you stick around, fill out some paperwork? We're on a little bit of a schedule today.
Okay, yeah, sure. This is what I was doing today. Okay.
Okay, come on. Walks out to the bullpen, gives you the 5-minute kitchenette tour where he talks about the teas and the espresso machine and everything like that. And then you've got these 3 other people who are sitting out in the bullpen behind you. The girl who is turned very far away from the guy wearing the suit and swiping on her phone, and then a guy wearing a suit and a guy wearing a vest and eating lo mein still. He's making it last.
And he's put his feet up on the table now.
So you look like you've been working here a while, really making yourself at home, but y'all are new too?
Yep, hired today.
And
I'm also new. I'm just trying to make friends. Hi, I'm Lewis. This is Sullivan. We're gonna be friends. And this is my best friend, as he points to Agatha. What's your name?
Yes. I'm Cameron, and I guess congratulations on all of that. I guess, yeah, it's nice to meet y'all. I guess we're all starting today? All of us?
I don't know about Agatha, but yeah, otherwise than that.
Oh, nice to meet you too. Hey.
She waves with her phone. Do you want to sit with me? We can watch the next person get interviewed.
We can what?
She shows you her phone, and you can see that it's showing the scene of the office.
No, I'm good. I'll go sit over. I'm gonna go get myself some tea. Y'all keep an eye on that. I'm gonna go get some tea.
Can you get me some tea,
Okay.
please?
Yeah, what kind?
The good stuff.
All right, okay, yeah, dealer's choice.
Okay, so we're down to 2. Who wants to go next? Okay, Alice, you're up.
Okie dokie.
So Alice, I've got to do a lead-in scene for Darcy.
Oh no. Okay.
Let's talk about your room in your flat.
Okay, so her room is kind of like a very short corridor. It's she hasn't got a lot of money, but she can stand like this and touch every side of her room. It's very small, it's very narrow. There is a single bed in there, and there is a desk and a wardrobe and a mirror that looks like it's almost been nailed to the wardrobe. And to get to her door for the bedroom, she actually has to like turn sideways to get between the bed and the wardrobe. And a small window at the back, which I'm pretty sure faces a brick wall. But this is her space, and she's really happy with it. This is her first ever space of her own. You can see like an empty instant ramen bowl on the side, which has chopsticks sort of thrown over it. And she's looking at herself in the mirror, basically giving herself a pep talk.
So how does the cat get into your room?
The cat gets into my room up by one of the fire escapes, which and it comes and it sort of does that little running pause on the window thing. She doesn't own a cat. It's just here, and every single time she'll go lift open the window, and she tends to leave the window open when she goes out so the cat can go in and out, because the joke's on anyone if they break in. She's got nothing to steal. If anything, it's a wasted effort. So she leaves the window open half the time, normally just about that much, so the cat can get in and out.
Now, in general, is this cat destructive? Does it knock things over? Does it generally mind its own business? Yeah, I know.
This cat is very much Hildy, and it's not destructive. It doesn't shred things. It doesn't do too much. It just likes to mess things up. So it will go and lay on the desk, and then when it stretches out, it is in the perfect place to push that empty ramen bowl off the side of the desk. So you hear it clang on the floor. That's why she has a lot of plastic bowls rather than actual, like, china bowls or anything like that, anything ceramic. But she loves this cat, so she sort of lets it get away with murder, effectively.
Awesome. So what kind of lounging position is Darcy in with her phone when the cat comes in? We were talking about being in in front of the mirror, but maybe turning away in a casual, relaxed fashion. How's that working?
Yeah, she has to literally turn sideways to then slide onto her desk chair, where she's got her camera laid out. She's got all the memory cards like lined up in a row, and all the batteries that are now fully charged for this camera, all in a perfect row, counting them as she does. And that's kind of her idea of chilling.
So the best part about Alice is that she's made sure that I can just do this without asking her for like a roll or things like that. We can just do this. So Alice, you're holding your phone, you're turning around, you're looking at the batteries, the cat jumps in, your phone falls out of your hand. It's gone into the pile of batteries. What's Darcy's move here?
Darcy's like, oh, damn it. And starts like trying to get it all back and start lining it back up again with that, just having it's like, every time, come on, almost like telling herself off, because this happens a lot for her. She's incredibly accident prone.
The phone is lodged behind the dresser in the small space between it and the wall. So it's like it's on its side like this, like it's gone into a pocket. And I need you to make a speed roll. And you've got to beat a difficulty of 2.
Oh my god, she's so bad with me.
I really, really want this to go badly, but if it doesn't, I'm going to be happy for you. Look at that. Leaning over, reaching with fingers, batteries falling down to the ground.
Like legs up in the air. She probably gets her arm stuck a couple of times, and you can just hear like, ow, ow, ow. And then the cat sort of tries to help.
So you have an email, and you've got that really cool auto reply feature turned on emails. In this struggle to reach your phone, you got an email back from a position you asked about as a photographer for some group called HoroScoops, and they asked if you could come in today. And while you're struggling for your phone, you have hit yes. And you have about 30 minutes to make it across town.
She's sort of have I got the phone out of the side, or is it still jammed?
This is how you can now see it as you're like reaching up, and it's like, yes, great, see you soon, as you're pulling it up.
She sort of pulls it up and goes, okay, and starts just like takes her satchel and just slides everything that was in the desk into her bag, probably dropping some of it again, dropping her phone as it clatters to the floor and shoving it back in. Just like pulling the satchel across her body. Camera stays out because she's paranoid and she has to hold it almost like all the time. And she looks at the cat and just makes the sort of watching you gesture and immediately runs to the front door.
When you make that gesture at Hildy, does it ever do anything at all?
Swipes.
Yeah. So I mean, you get like maybe an eye roll from a cat, and we're gonna smash cut to Darcy walking in. Like you're right there in front of HoroScoops. You've gotten there. It's been a little bit of a trial.
She's like, oh, okay, you got this. You're only got a minute. It's fine. And she doesn't realize the door is open, so she just starts knocking.
And it's Sunday, and there's no open signs or anything like that. So there's no reason you'd be thinking, oh yeah, they're definitely open. It's a Sunday. A minute or so goes by. Sullivan, Lewis, Cameron, you guys all hear knocking at the front door. You also hear the bathroom flush.
I kick my chair back and start to walk towards the door.
Oh, you're gonna get the door. Okay, perfect. I'll sit here and fill out my application. It's really taking a long time.
This is, by the way, the kind of application that you go down to Staples or like the office supply store and you just buy a box of applications and yeah. Okay, so Sullivan, there's a door.
Hey, what's up?
Dingle dingles.
Oh, hi. Yeah, and she holds her hand out and then quickly switches it. She's like, I'm here for the job interview. I think I'm on time.
Oh yeah, cool. Come inside. We're just hanging out in the bullpen. Bill will be here shortly.
Oh, great. Okay. Yeah, and she just sort of slides in through the side, and she's like, "Are you the one interviewing me?"
Oh no, I'm new. I got here today too.
Oh, okay. Like you're already employed, or you're here for the same interview?
Agatha walks towards the kitchen.
I mean, I had an interview, but it's probably not for the same position. There's a couple of us that just got hired today. If you want to, come hang out till they're ready for you.
Oh, okay. I don't normally hang out, but okay, I can do that. Yeah, I can do that. And she sort of does this really awkward walk towards the group and sort of perches herself on the end of one of the chairs, hands in her lap.
So like at the moment that you touch down in the chair fully, you see Agatha turn out of the kitchenette. Bill is walking out of, apparently the bathroom is right there. So he walks out of the bathroom and she puts a cup of tea into his hands and she points at you and says, Darcy. And then Bill walks up and goes, oh, you're Darcy.
Yes, I am. Yeah.
Okay, hey, and he switches the tea over to the other hand. Hi, I'm Bill.
Hi.
Hi, okay, come on around this way. My office is just right back here.
Okay, and she sort of shuffles.
There's not a lot of space between these two desks. This is like mildly a hazard for Darcy, but you're gonna make it okay.
Okay, she's like, okay. And she just stands awkwardly until he says sit down.
Yeah, so he points at the guest chair and sits down. And how did you send your resume over? Is it electronically? That makes sense to me, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so he's looking at his computer. Okay, so you're a photographer.
Yes, I am.
Great. You got a lot of good stuff here. Did you look at the site?
Yeah. And she's sort of trying to remember because her brain is hectic, but she's like, yeah, no, I looked at it, I had a good look, yeah.
Okay. How do you like the Canon?
Yeah, it's my prized possession, goes everywhere with me. Yeah, it's really good. It does the job, and like I think you saw my portfolio.
Yeah. So he turns away and reaches down, grabbing something in the bottom drawer of his desk, turns around, and he has a Nikon. And he says, yeah, I used to take a lot of pictures for the site myself, but I just don't have the time anymore. And so he starts talking about his camera. I'm not qualified to do this part of the talk, personal cons. So I'm gonna kind of skip around, but there's some camera lingo for a little while about shutter speeds and stuff like that. The digital versus film debate, all of the fun stuff that you can talk about with a camera.
She just sits awkwardly nodding, not wanting to upset him at all in any way.
So now you get to make the same difficulty 2 intellect roll everybody else is making.
Okay. difficulty 2, you said, didn't you?
That's right. Look at that. Okay, but you also went the other way. And you're doing really good on the roll. So there's a cup of tea on the table. And Bill's talking to you, and then he looks at something on your portfolio. He puts the camera down, and when he bends down to put the camera down, the mug breaks in half, the handle part falls off, the liquid spills down on the desk, and in the second that Bill's not looking, it catches on fire.
Wait, the camera or the mug?
No, just the tea. The tea just suddenly flambe liquid style just bursts into flame, and then eddies down to like a gentle blue flame, and then just gutters out. About the same time he looks up. Oh,
she starts. She takes off her scarf and just starts fanning it. Your tea's on fire. I'll get that for you. Like, and sort of reaches over and just starts patting it.
And he's typing something on his phone. Okay, I've got some paperwork for you to fill out.
Does this mean I get the job?
Right, for the job.
Oh, great. I can't believe I did that. Okay, what, yeah, I'll fill it out, whatever you need.
Let me, here, we'll walk back to the kitchen.
Okay. And awkwardly stands.
Okay. You walk back. Now, I've got bad news for you, Lewis. You and Sullivan are sitting at the table. Cameron, are you sitting at the table or not sitting at the table?
I think Cameron's making tea for the group, she's decided. So she's over by the little stove.
Yeah, so you're over here. They've got an electric kettle for like tea and stuff like that. But while you're right there messing around with the tea stuff, Agatha is like physically touching you shoulder to shoulder, like right here like this. And she looks back at you and says, hey.
Hey.
So there's just one more.
What does that mean?
It's just one more interview. What?
Okay. And what? Why should I need to know if there's one more? I'm making tea.
She swipes and just walks off.
Do you
So
want tea?
Darcy has now walked in the kitchen. Darcy, this is Cameron.
Hi. Cameron?
Would you like tea as well? I think I'm doing rooibos for the group.
I want coffee.
Okay, one coffee.
You know, I'm good. Like, as she sort of thinks about the tea she just saw on the side, and she's like, I'm good, but no, thank you for the offer.
Okay, yeah. No, yeah, sure.
The final interview. Okay, here we go. Are we going to start with Josie walking in the door? Do you want to frame it up? What do you want to do, Allison?
Josie has been up. She's been up for a long time this morning. She's an early riser. She was up at about 5:30, went for a run, got back to the little place that she shares up in Marin County in San Anselmo with a roommate. Took a quick shower, cold. Water's cold about half the time in their place. And then got dressed up for this interview. And she's kind of casual, jeans, loafers, black t-shirt, kind of a plaid blazer. She puts her sunglasses on, a backpack kind of over one shoulder, and that camera still around her neck. And she takes the ferry across right there into the heart of the financial district, and walks up the hill to just kind of that, just shy of Chinatown to the office.
Okay, so that's like an hour and a half. It's
Yeah.
like a good length of walk. It's been a nice exercise on a Sunday. Maybe it's nothing for Josie, but mortal people are going to, they would fall to the wayside quickly in this task. Okay. Well, everybody has been like kibitzing in the bullpen and kitchen area. Bill's in the office again, doing whatever. Agatha's walked in that way. You saw her carrying a cup of tea. And Josie, you've arrived at HoroScoops. There's no open sign on the door. The windows are all blinded, and it's Sunday.
Yeah, I've got a Starbucks cup in one hand and knock on the door.
Okay, the door has been knocked on. Does anyone feel an inclination to go answer it?
Are you gonna get that again, Sullivan? Or I could go get it.
Fit tweeting on his phone or something like, "Oh yeah, I can get it."
You look like you're doing something important. I filled out this application like a few hours ago. But I'll go get it. You might want to fill out your application, by the way. They told me to do that.
He points. It's done.
I'm gonna go get the door. Okay, cool. Okay. I'll walk up to the door and open it and say, "Can I help you? Are you here for an interview?"
I am, as a matter of fact. Josie Conrad, are you Bill?
Definitely not Bill. But yeah, you should come in. Here, I just got hired today.
Okay.
So like 3 other people, I think. I think it's a pretty easy interview. I don't know that he actually asked me anything. It's kind of all a blur, honestly. I was just way too terrified. And so I don't remember any of it. But you got this. Oh, I'm Lewis, by the way.
As Lewis has been saying all of this, Josie's kind of looking around the office. Since you're not Bill, she's looking for Bill. Oh, right. Nice to meet you, Lewis. Thanks. You might want to
the layout here
sit down or something.
Yeah. You've got a really basic, like someone went on Pinterest and grabbed a couple images. It was me. But anyway, so it's got a very basic, like someone did a quick office Pinterest look to the building. It's nothing fancy, nothing big. You see 6 setups, so maybe that's your head count right there. And there's apparently 5 people in the room.
Hi, I'm looking for Bill. Am I supposed to have an interview today?
Agatha walks around the corner from the other side of the suite and says, he's on the phone. He'll be with you in a second.
Oh, cool. All right, thanks.
This is my best friend. And then this is Sullivan. And I don't know that I met anybody else.
When Lewis introduces him, I don't have a name because I was going to look it up real quick, but this happened too fast. He shouts like, "Yeah," and some character's name and about how he got like this rare drop thing, and it goes back to swiping on his phone.
Hey. And I'm looking at my phone now, just waiting for Bill.
A couple minutes go by. He walks out around the corner. It's Josie, right?
Hi, yeah, Josie Conrad. And I shake his hand.
Hey, real nice to meet you. Come on back.
Great, thanks.
Okay, desk is there. The desk blotter is wet, and there's a cup of tea sitting. It looks like someone spilled a cup of tea and then put a new cup of tea in the middle. Okay, so I'm looking at your resume. Yeah, what are you looking to do?
Well, the position advertised for photographers and photojournalists. That's kind of what I'm looking to get into right now. Okay, it's new for me. I know. I just finished the certificate, but I've done a lot of online work as well. So I thought that was probably pretty applicable. And you mentioned like long hours, and you've seen some of what I've done.
Yeah. What do you think of the group out there?
You like out?
Yeah.
I didn't really get a chance to meet him. The Lewis seems kind of high strung, I guess. But yeah, what about him? Is that your team?
So this is we used to be a real small. This is a family business type site, and
I was wondering about that.
Yeah. There's going to be some growth, and I need somebody to maybe manage a team. I think honestly, with your qualifications, I don't think I can just say you're a reporter here.
To manage that team.
Right.
Yeah. That sounds fantastic. I can definitely do that.
Yeah, I think so. To be honest, I haven't worked with a lot of team reporting before, and I think you have more experience with this than I do.
That could be. I mean, I've done some team management, I guess.
Yeah, he's pointing at his computer. You've got a lot of team management type experience, right? So.
Yeah, it's the military. But yeah. I think the skills are applicable.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Do you want to make the same roll everybody else is making?
Yeah, sure.
Intellect roll, the difficulty's 2. You have a skill that applies to this.
I was wondering about that. Which one of those skills is it?
Oh, let me read through your character sheet. I saw it earlier, but then I have closed the window. Let me look. We are looking at Danger Sense.
Yes, okay.
See the Unseen. I'm sorry. We are looking at See the Unseen. I was wrong.
Interesting. Okay.
Yes.
All right, so this is like my first ever cyber system roll online. So I'm clicking intellect and then bonus.
So that's for difficult, which is going to be 0.
Okay, submit. Difficulty 1, you said, yes?
2.
2, got it.
2.
And no effort. Asset, is that where this skill goes?
I think you may have one more before it says skill.
Okay.
Then we will work through it.
Then it was cost. Well.
Okay. Well, the important thing is, number 1, with the skill, it would have been fine. So you succeed, but you did trigger the horror mode.
Okay.
I really I've got myself questioning what's going to happen over here if we don't do this. Cool.
Nice.
I'm giving the music a second to kick in. Is anybody else hearing anything good?
If by good you mean terrifying, then yes.
The suspense is killing me.
I'm really glad. Okay. So, 2 people have died here in this building. This you know right away. They're not violent deaths, but you're intensely aware of the presence. In this room right now with you, there are 2 spirits. They're not watching you, but they're watching over Bill. Nothing happened to the cup of tea on the desk, by the way.
I've had to work really hard in the last 6 months to keep my focus on what's real in front of me when something like this happens to me. So I'm practicing that skill, kind of focused on Bill, but very aware that this is happening.
So I don't feel like anybody's really analyzing your motives right now, so I don't think you have anything you're rolling against. But there is that presence in this room. And Bill has no idea what's going on. He is clearly totally without a clue. He stands up and says, I've got some paperwork you can fill out. Come on out.
All right. Great. Curious, looks like you just moved in here?
No, it's a little bit more complex than that, but yeah, let me tell you about it while I tell everybody else.
Oh, okay. All right, great. Thanks.
So as you walk out into the main room, you've got this team of people. Is anybody not in this room sitting in the bullpen that I should know about? Okay. So Agatha walks in from the back and Bill says, okay, so welcome aboard. It's weird, right? Because it's a Sunday and I know we're doing interviews really like last minute, but we've got some things we got to kind of get moving, kind of got to work on, and we need people now. So thank you guys for coming in and being available. Really great. This is Josie. Josie's going to be the senior reporter. She's going to be the team manager. I think that's really the best use. She's got a lot of experience in the field. So we're going to now veer off into things that are like in the general like social pop knowledge. Is anybody really keeping up on day-to-day events, buzz feeding, twittering, things like that? It sounds like maybe Sullivan. Okay. So I'm going to read this the way I wrote it, because I wrote this and it was bonkers and I never really went back and looked at it again until today, and I love it just for that. So we're in San Francisco, right? So there is an aging billionaire-ish thought leader whose name is Shepard Poole. He's one of those guys who had a couple really good .com ideas, and he's fading fast. It's like every post about him gets more ridiculous. He's getting dunked on constantly on everything you can possibly get dunked on. He might have a certain relation to certain other thought leaders out there who, anyways, I'm going to stop. But long story short, he started off being into drones. So if you knew drones, you probably knew who Shepard Poole was, because that's where he made a lot of money. And then the idea that you could have AI selected music that would really match your tastes and drive like your best music choices, that went really well. And then he went into this idea of like sleep subscription boxes that would like help you get a better night's sleep. And it started getting weird. And then now he's been on a morning YouTube feed, like a stream, where they were doing some sort of CBD oil challenge, just like really weird California Valley stuff at this point. And he had a elaborate claim. It went kind of back and forth with him and this talk show leader. Bill's showing you the really quick clip that's on YouTube. This is like the minute version of the 3-hour-long show. And Shepard Poole just says, his eyes, by the way, are like really wild and wide. He says, there's no way. None of this stuff is real. I don't care about dragon energy or things like that. You can't see a dragon. There's no such thing as a real dragon. That's not something that exists. If you bring a dragon out here where I can see a picture of it right now, I will give you $1 million out of my checkbook. I will write you a check right now for $1 million if you have a picture of a dragon. Do you think you could do that? And it like cuts off at this point as he like gets more high pitched and like starts going a little manic on stage. There's a very well-known meme that happens after this where he like turns in his chair and falls out of it. So that's not this clip right now. And Bill says, okay, I know it's crazy, but we're going to get that picture.
I'm sorry, a picture of a dragon.
Yeah.
I mean, it's worth $1 million. I'm sure we could find something that resembles a dragon. I mean, dragons aren't real, but that $1 million could be.
Agatha, come here, Agatha. So Agatha is swiping on her phone again, and she says, okay. And she holds up a picture. It's probably Golden Gate Park. It looks very Golden Gate Parky. You can see what looks like maybe like a Palace of Fine Arts building in the background, big, tall, leafy trees. And there's a lot of cloud cover. And up against the clouds and kind of like a sinuous S shape, if you were squinting and like the phone was just right and the contrast was down really low and you were sleepy maybe, it looks kind of like a dragon. If the thing was, it's got to be moving fast because it looks like a normal camera picture, like taken at a normal speed, but whatever is moving on the screen is blurred, totally blurred.
That's a good effect. I bet they did that with maybe a kite or a well-placed windsock, maybe attached to a drone.
I just took a photo.
You took that.
Yeah, it's on my phone.
Okay. Interesting.
Bill says, okay, look, I know it's weird. This is not like the only thing we're going after, but HoroScoops is known for a couple things. We do really good traffic on HoroScoops. We've got very accurate HoroScoops. They go really well. People love them. And we've been doing more social, like pictures, social posts, stuff like that. We got a really good picture that came through. You guys may have seen it. It was last week, and it was a picture of a werewolf. Do you guys see that? When we're talking about a werewolf here, this is not going to be like an anthropomorphized wolf. It's a very, very large wolf. Set up against the streets. In the background was maybe like a park late at night.
Yeah, I saw that picture on the website.
Yeah, so did I.
Yeah, Agatha says, yeah, I took that picture.
I heard that was one of those Game of Thrones dogs. Like the real big ones?
No, it's just a wolf. It's a werewolf.
Okay, so we're gonna take a picture of a dragon. Where can we find the dragon?
Bill says, I don't even think we're ready for that yet, but I don't know. I'm not sure about that one at all. But the werewolf thing, I think we need to take care of that. Like, I'd like to get some follow-up on that. Like tonight, if we could, that would be really good.
Where did you get that picture? Where was that?
So Agatha says, this is right down the street. This is Lafayette Park.
And it's a werewolf, not a big dog. Like a big dog, I get that.
Maybe it's just a big dog.
Okay. No, okay, yeah.
I mean, we might as well look at it, right? Yeah, like even if it is a big dog, then at least we've solved it. Like it be, yeah. I'm not scared, you're scared.
Lewis, don't be scared. There's nothing to be scared of.
I just said I'm not scared.
Right, good. Okay, got it. Tell me, what about, you're all photographers then?
Here, Bill says, I tell you what, did anybody eat lunch? Did anybody have lunch? Yeah, right, I forgot about that. Okay, let me buy y'all lunch. There's a place that's just down the street.
Sounds good.
Okay,
Sue's eyes light up because she's had instant ramen every day, twice a day for the last 2 months. She's like, okay.
Yeah, you can see the empty container in front of Sullivan, but he's just like, sure, I could eat again.
So,
did you say you're paying for lunch?
Yeah, I'll buy you lunch. Come on.
Oh, okay, good.
It's the best question to ask at work ever. I totally agree with that. So with that, you guys all walk out the front door. Bill locks the door. He says, I would drive you guys, but I don't have that many seats in my car. And he walks you down the block. You go down about 2 blocks, and there's a little Vietnamese restaurant that's called Pho Real. So it's P-H-O-R-E-A-L. Thank you, yes. Really, Sarah started this whole thing. It's all her fault. But long story short, you are at a small, it looks like it's been a little bit lived in Vietnamese restaurant. Bill opens a door, like holds it wide for you all as you walk in. And pho restaurants, if you're not familiar, they will have a lot of like very fragrant scents. It's going to be a lot of like rich beef, and then you're going to smell star anise. You're going to smell basil and cinnamon. No, not cinnamon. I think there's going to be some cinnamon. I've forgotten what I'm talking about. It's cinnamon, ginger. So all these smells are going to be like wafting out the door. It smells good. So there's a guy behind the counter. He's wearing like a white t-shirt and he's got a like an apron on, and he says, okay, how many? And who's in the door first? It's not Bill. Okay, Lewis.
Oh, hi. Hi, what's your name, sir?
Nick. How many people you got?
Hey, Nick. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is Agatha with us?
Yep.
I think there's 7. I should know basic math, but sometimes it's hard. You know what I mean?
As everybody finishes coming in the door, Bill walks in the door. He goes, Nick, and he goes, Bill, and then okay, come on. And they walk you over to a big table that looks like it can have 10 people there and just sits you all down. You guys have very big menus. There are apparently like 70 items on the menu at this place, and then a whole separate drinks menu in the back. So we'll let you guys have fun with that. And Sarah, you got the name exactly right in chat. Thanks for that. So you're all sitting down. A couple seconds later, water's all across the table. Nick points at Bill. Bill says, yeah, usual. And then a couple seconds later, now there's little plates, and they've got uncooked bean sprouts and Thai basil on top of it, and some cilantro and things like that. Wedges of lime. Those just get stuck out on the table. Okay. It's a Vietnamese restaurant. I don't know if you guys even know how to order, or if you want to order, or what you want to order, but there's a lot of Chinese food on this menu too. So just tons of stuff.
I'm looking for Agatha here. What's good? Do you come here often?
Yeah, this is like the only place that my uncle eats. I don't know. Noodles.
Yeah. Yeah, noodles are always safe.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Cool. So Bill is your uncle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you work for the site?
Yeah, I do the HoroScoops.
Oh. Oh, cool. I'm a Gemini myself.
Mm.
No, what's that? What's that mean?
What's what mean?
You write the horoscopes.
Yeah. You know when people are talking and you just kind of like being nice?
Ah, right. Okay. Got it. Who's sitting on the other side of me?
Maybe Cameron. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't think I got your name.
Oh, I'm Cameron. Whenever I come to a restaurant like this, my trick is usually just to order the number one. It's usually whatever's best, and they almost always got numbers down the side. So I don't know, maybe try that.
Yeah, sure. That's worked out for you pretty well in the past.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have this awkward moment here now where Josie was sitting next to Agatha or across from Agatha. Lewis came up and sat down next to her. Agatha is now at the other end of the table. So now she's sitting next to Bill and Darcy.
I'm Josie, Cameron. It's really great to meet you. Great to be working with you.
Yeah, wait, so what are you going to be doing at HoroScoops?
I'm managing the team. I'm your manager.
And you also started today?
Yeah. Yep, I sure did.
So Bill, hearing this, points down the table. He says, I was going to explain this. So yeah, you know how sometimes you have a small business and you get some venture capital, there's new investment that gets involved. So yeah, but there's a little bit of pressure to move things along, to get some things done. And so I'm trying to hit those milestones and make sure that we keep moving forward.
Where's that funding coming from, Bill? I'm curious to know.
Yeah, it's private venture funding.
That's great. Congratulations. That's a big deal.
Good for everyone, right? So yeah, a chance to get some more activity and increase the reporting staff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What's the reporting staff been up to this point?
It's me. Agatha does some work with the HoroScoops, but mostly it's me. And yeah, just it's been that way for a while.
Just the two of you then?
Yeah, we've changed a lot in terms of how the site works. And while he's saying this part, Nick walks up and slaps him on the shoulder and goes, "Okay, what's everybody getting?" And if anybody actually wants to talk about what kind of food they would get, we can do this.
Yeah, can I get the forget about it, please?
Yeah. Okay, you like tripe?
Yeah, everything. Everything.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Sure.
I like to try everything.
Yep.
I'm gonna have the number 1.
Yep. Good.
Ones.
Okay. Ones.
Sullivan gets like the 4 or 5, whatever's labeled as the spiciest thing they got.
Okay, pal. Yeah.
Darcy sort of looks awkwardly over the menu because she's never been to a place that she's like, do you do dumplings, like steamed buns or anything like that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have that, please.
Okay. Dumpling. Agatha. And she says the prawns. Okay, prawns. And off he goes. Okay, yeah, so where were we at? We were talking about I forget. What were you saying, Josie?
I was just curious. It's been just the two of you who've been doing all of the work on the site.
Okay. Yeah, so this started out as a local newspaper. We were in the Chinatown area. My parents started this back in 1964. And it was a local circular. It worked for like businesses where they need to talk to one another. It was all Chinese language. So originally a weekly paper, all Chinese language, and then it worked out really popular. So they expanded a little bit, and people who were in Chinatown, they started moving out to other parts of San Francisco. So then you've got some people, they're living all over. The circulation got quite a bit bigger. And then we started doing horoscopes in 1989, I think. And really, really popular. By far the most popular part of the site. We tripled circulation in a year doing horoscopes. And it stayed really good. Stayed really good for a long time. My family's passed away now. Agatha's my niece. I've raised her since she was, little girl. And so now it's just been keeping the site going. And yeah, the venture funding, it's great. It's going to really allow us to keep things moving and generate some new content. So HoroScoops, we changed the brand in 2004.
Yeah. Has it always been in that building then?
Let's see, how long have we been there? 1975.
Yeah, wow. Long time.
Yeah, but we got everything, all the furniture's new, everything got painted, the interior got remodeled. We keep our apartment upstairs, all that got redone. Everything's really good now.
Yeah, well.
New espresso machine.
Venture capital.
Yeah. So there's some things they want us to do. We've got to get some stories out. We've got to generate some traffic. They want the whole place expanded. So it used to just be the one suite. Now it's both suites.
Mm-hmm. And how do you foresee doing assignments then?
What do you mean?
Like assigning the team to cover this or that event, or how's that going to work?
Yeah, I think most of the time things are going to stay like, put one person here, one person there, that kind of thing. Could be small, but this first one I think is a little bit important. I think maybe we just get everybody to go out and you can see how everybody works together.
Yeah, that seems like it's really important. I'd love to know a little bit more about all of you and what you do and what you want to do, what brought you into this.
Okay, let's start with Lewis.
Oh, good. I was going to volunteer to go first, actually.
Yeah.
I'm Lewis. I was the one that I don't know if you remember, but I brought you in.
I do remember that.
Oh, good. I tend to make a really good first impression, so I figured you remembered me. What was the question?
You're a photographer then?
Yeah. And he takes out his camera from his fanny pack, and he's like, "Yeah. I'm a photographer. I just graduated from school, and I'm gonna get kicked out this Monday. Oh, that's tomorrow. Oh my gosh. That's probably too much information. I'm sorry.
Wait, kicked out of?
Oh, my parents' house.
Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry.
Yeah. But I feel like that's a problem for tomorrow. So, we'll see. Yeah. So I'm a photographer. I like the outdoors. I like long walks on the beach. I don't know what else you need to know about me.
That's a great start. That's a great start.
And I guess you're right next to him. He like kind of stands up and like, oh, it's okay. It's nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Great, Lewis. Good job.
Thank you. I'm really good at like talk at first impressions. My mom's.
Yeah, and
Bill. Oh, go ahead.
And Cameron, I know your name at least.
Yeah. So I think I'm a writer. So I was pitching writing some kind of pulp fiction stories, maybe that have to do with local politics for the site, but I might also be writing stories about dragons and werewolves. I don't know. I guess I'm interested to see where this takes me. I also work at an ice cream shop down the road. You've probably been to it. It's called the Cone Zone. They're pretty good. They do a lot of stunt food, I guess. That's interesting. I'm pretty mean with a waffle iron.
Okay. Okay. And looking at Darcy, I don't think I know your name.
She's sort of like half drinking table water. It's like, hi, yeah, I'm Darcy. Yeah, hi.
Darcy, what do you do?
I do this. And quickly gestures towards the camera and is like, I am a photographer, and I like to photograph many things, and I've just moved to the city. I've got my own place now, actually. Well, no, I share it with 3 other people, but I have my own room and like my own desk and my own like wardrobe and everything, which is
nice.
which is pretty cool. I have a cat. I think that's how you get a cat. But
you think you have a cat?
Well, it wanders in every day. That's how you get a cat, right?
That's a good point. That's a good point, actually.
Which is great because I'm not normally that great with animals and stuff. I can be a bit skittish. But this cat's great. real great.
Yeah. How are you feeling about the whole werewolf thing?
Oh, I'm sure it'll be fine. Deal with it when it happens.
Yeah. And last but certainly not least.
I'm Sullivan. I'm gonna help do the social media stuff. Bill, you were talking about viewership stuff. What are you thinking for hashtags? Like, have you thought about any trends that you want to hit on like that to help engage everything, drive people to the site?
Yeah, so a huge bowl of noodles has just been set in front of Bill while you're talking about that. So thanks. So the site, the pages, we should do that. You could look at like the werewolf post was really good. There was a ghost contest, like viewers take a picture of a ghost a couple weeks ago. Really hot. People really like that.
Sorry, people were taking pictures of ghosts.
Yeah, it's like there's like a theme we're going for with the new site. It's like, lots of like supernatural pictures.
Huh. Could I see some of those photos when we get back to the office, maybe?
Agatha is walking up behind you. She got up and did something, and she's walking back, and she's pulling a chair behind her. And she puts it over at the end of the table. It's now going to be right next to Darcy. She like flicks a couple times on her phone. She goes, "Look, it's just right there." And she hands you the Instagram for the site, and there's a ghost picture. It looks like it could be a picture. It doesn't look like it's really photoshopped or anything like that.
Yeah, I'd love to get a look at the raw files though, if that's possible. Just curious.
She says you could talk to the guy who did it, but it's just a viewer picture.
Okay. Huh. Okay.
Cameron is just like straining over to like also look like down at that and is just nodding like, yes, I want to see the raw file of that.
Darcy is visibly more awkward now that there's a person either side of her, more that she just doesn't want to knock anyone or anything, but not really paying attention to the photos.
Yeah. Door opens again. Person walks back towards you all. They're wearing like a mechanic's jumpsuit. Hair is really close cropped. I can actually pull this one off. And they sit down right next to Darcy at the chair and just kind of do a wave. Hey.
Hi, I'm Lewis.
Hey, I'm Sparky. And Bill says Sparky does tech, like office tech, stuff like that. They live upstairs.
Do you have like extra space there, Sparky? Do you want a roommate? Never mind. How's your day going?
Yeah, everything's fine. I fixed the router. Everything's fine.
Cool.
And they're now looking at Agatha, and Agatha's looking back at them, and they've got some sort of intense eye contact thing going.
Well, I guess if I'm going to be your manager, I should probably tell you a little bit about myself. I am back in the Bay Area about 6 months. I did my undergraduate work at Berkeley. I was in cybersecurity. And then I was in the Army for a little while, but I've kind of been all over. I lived in Ecuador at a surf school for a while, did a little bit of rock climbing, kind of semi-professionally, I guess. Was at a tech startup for a little while, but yeah, so just kind of looking for the next new thing, and got interested in photography, so took a few classes, and here I am. I probably have a lot to learn from those of you that have been doing this a little while longer.
The food's being put out on the table. Agatha's not looking up from her phone for so much. She just goes, "That's super cool."
Yeah.
Darcy slowly just like trying to figure out the chopsticks and then trying to pick up the dumplings. But doesn't take her eyes off of anyone at the table. They're sort of darting around to different people. She's like, "You all seem really interesting."
I'm sure you're interesting, Darcy. Tell me more about your what do you like to do, or tell me about your cat. What do you like to talk about? How's your day going?
I have a cat and I like to take photos.
So let's go ahead and cut here. The meal is done. The dishes are being like pushed over to the side, and Bill says, kind of frankly, "Okay, Lafayette Park tonight. Who has a car?" Because there's 5 of you. I can't do that. I've got a little 2-seater.
Cameron looks around and is desperately hoping someone else chimes in and says they've got an SUV or a reasonable vehicle. And then after an uncomfortable pause, she's like, "I technically have access to a vehicle that can technically fit all of us, I guess."
That's a lot of technically, Cameron.
That's true, yeah. Yeah.
So let's go ahead and cut back to being in the ice cream truck. It's now turning dark. Shadows falling across the park at this point. People are lined up outside trying to get their ice cream cones or whatever else they might want. You're all awkwardly jammed inside of this truck. Agatha's not here. Sparky's not here. Bill's not here. You guys all are. So what are you going to do?
What time is it? It's getting dark.
It's getting dark. Let's say it's 7:15.
Okay. So Cameron's kind of like watching the clock for like the moment she can shut the front awning and stop serving ice cream to people, because part of the reason she was able to acquire the truck for this outing was saying she was going to go sell ice cream. But she like has to have the register have at least a couple of timestamps actually selling some ice cream, or else she'll get some eyes on her that she does not need or want.
Mm-hmm. So you've got like 6 people lined up out in front, and like, you know, it takes a while to serve them. This is an elaborate ice cream truck, and there's like toppings and like, you know, things that go with the ice cream. It's a lot to set up.
Yeah, there are. And she's just like kind of like, usually she's a little bit cheerier through this process, but she's just like, okay, and you want, was it the walnuts or the pecans? Okay, yeah.
No,
I'll give you both. Don't worry. It'll be fine.
I'm allergic to walnuts. And so on and so forth. Okay. Nothing bad will happen. We'll all be okay. So it gets darker. You're probably okay.
So once like the last person is in line and she like checks out the register, she's like, okay, goodbye. Yeah, you in the back, sorry, it's past 8, can't do it. And then like slams the like latch that would basically like collapse the front awning, and then it's, I guess, just the group in the truck.
Yeah, and turning around, despite the fact that DuckTales has been on repeat for like an hour now. It's like a long time, apparently. But with that, it's dark out. And yeah, it's visibly dark in the park. It's amazing how dark it got, how quickly, because all these big building shadows, there aren't that many lamps in this park, apparently, because it's a ways before you can see the next one. And you hear the roar as the taco truck that was parked behind you has started to pull out and drive off. You guys are the last ones here.
Okay.
After a moment, Sullivan opens the back door and climbs to the top of the truck to sit on the top because it's really cramped in here.
Yeah, and it's much cooler outside, whereas in the truck it was getting to maybe like 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Outside it's like a balmy 60, 68 degrees.
Question. And she sort of looks around the truck. She's like, how do we go about attracting said oversized dog / wolf?
Usually you have some like bait, maybe like a small female is how I've seen it done in the movies. Do you know?
Darcy immediately looks insulted. Like, I'm not bait.
I thought maybe you were volunteering, Lewis. That's what it sounded like, at least at first.
I'm not a small female.
No, that was before you got to that part. I mean,
I can volunteer if you want me to.
I'll do it.
Look at that.
I was kind of kidding, Sully, but if you're down for it, I mean, I don't know. What do you?
Yeah. No, it's fine. I'll do it. We gotta get these pictures right, and I mean, you guys all have the cameras. What better? I mean, yeah. No, it'll be fine.
I slide open the ice cream window and sit there with my camera.
So are we wait, hold on. Why do we need bait? Y'all don't think we're actually gonna like attract a werewolf, right?
No, but if there is something in the park, if Sullivan, as I quite rightly, as I think, are you gonna just stand up on the roof and wave about a bit, or how does this work?
If you want me to be bait, I'll probably go walk away. You know, if the truck's yay, I'll go walk away off so that you're facing where I am.
I think it would be helpful if we got a few cameras kind of at different angles. Might be the best way to ensure we get a really decent shot here, especially if it's something that's going to be moving fast. And look, we all know this is not a werewolf, right? There's some kind of big coyote or something that's kind of made its home in the park. We'll get some photos. We'll get this over with, and we'll see what else Bill's got for us. But maybe if you had some ice cream, Cameron, do you think like a couple of ice, maybe a couple of cones or something?
Yeah, I can whip something up. What do we think a werewolf would like? Rocky Road or just like plain vanilla?
Is it good for like dogs to have dairy?
I mean, definitely not chocolate. That's a
You should
thing,
definitely
right?
do it in the waffle cones, though.
So like, okay, waffle cone coming up.
I think you could do just the whipped cream, right? That's a thing. Doesn't Starbucks do that?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's a great idea. And in the warm waffle cone, maybe the scent will carry a little bit further. What we're really going to want here is to get you somewhere upwind, Sully, so that wherever it is, it can kind of catch the scent. And don't worry about it getting too close to you or anything, because I'm going to stay close. And at that point, she reaches kind of under her blazer into the back of her of her pants, of her shorts, and pulls out a small handgun. So look, I'm not going to fool around. Okay. I mean, if there's some kind of weird animal running around through the park, it could be sick, it could have rabies or something, but don't worry, it won't get close to you, I promise.
And on that note, I'm going to step away and take a quick bio, and I will be right back.
I mean, like, has that got the safety on? Do you just carry that around?
I'm sure she knows what she's doing. She was in the military.
I know, but like...
Okay.
Yeah.
Look, and I kind of hold it up. That's the safety right there. And it's on. When it flips down this way, that means the safety's off and it's ready to fire. But I would never do that unless I absolutely had to. Okay? It's like this, it's perfectly safe.
Hi, Raiders. It's like, oh, okay. Yeah, great. Should we just carry that around every day, or?
No, I don't. But when there's werewolves involved, it kind of seemed like the smart move.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So hopefully it's just a big dog. Maybe I think there's like an animal rescue nearby. Maybe just a dog got loose, but I think 3 pup cones coming up. And Cameron turns around and she starts like getting some of the waffle cones. Like, she does take pride in her ice cream making, so she heats them up and then, does like a nice, beautiful swirl of whipped cream coming out of them and is getting them prepped.
And you got 3 of them, you said, right?
Yeah, like they make a nice little bouquet. They actually look really lovely, and she's finessed the whipped cream so it looks kind of like roses. Stunt ice cream. You gotta do tricks.
Okay.
I feel like we need a oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Hans.
Go ahead. It's okay. Go for it.
I was gonna say, I think we need a signal, guys, and like if we're in danger, we should all say, danger, watch behind you. Just saying.
You guys have been listening to this track for an hour now.
I think that might be a little much to say if you're, in danger.
No, you can get it out real quick. Trust me, I've been in many dangerous situations. And
like what?
I mean, like, I almost fell off a cliff one time. Nothing. How's your day going?
I'm in an ice cream van.
So good?
I'm in an ice cream van, and she sort of looks over at Josie. It's like, oh, someone has a gun. I'm trying to lure a big dog with waffle cones.
I think we're missing the important thing here. Right now, we've got this amazing cone bouquet. I think if we're going to take pictures for the site, we need a picture of this, and we can explain about how we can, whoever's going to write, we could write about how we're investigating, and this is part of the investigation.
No. You can't, so I took the truck out and said I would return it at like 9. So you can't say this is an investigation. Oh, okay, you can take pictures, but don't mention the truck, don't mention me, don't take pictures of the truck.
Unless, of course, we get an actual photograph of a werewolf, and the cone zone can play a prominent role in the story. Might be some great publicity.
Okay, yeah, okay, maybe my manager's very interested in bringing more business to the storefront, so okay, but maybe we table that? I cannot get fired from this job.
We'll make sure that doesn't happen.
Okay.
And with that, she kind of releases the magazine and just checks to make sure that it's loaded, puts it back in, and tucks it back into her shorts. All right, let's do this thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he just takes the cones and he's hopped off the truck because they're talking, and he takes the cones through the window and just walks off a bit.
Now we can deal with Alice when she comes back, but here's how we're going to do this. We're going to be making the exact same check we made last time.
Okay.
So interesting. It's an intellect check. Difficulty's 2. You're trying to find stuff. I think a big wolf running by is not going to be that hard to notice.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping somebody rolls a 3 or less. That's all I'm looking for.
As we're kind of getting arranged, I walk up to Sullivan, who I'm always going to be calling Sully now, by the way, whether he likes it or not, unless he says something, who's kind of juggling these 3 warm puppy cones. And I here, let me just see one of those, would you?
I mean, I think if I pull one off, it'll ruin it because she designed the top across the bunch of them.
Yeah. Here, just let me see this one, and I kind of take one and just kind of push it forward onto the front of your t-shirt, so it's like on you.
I mean, you could have just asked.
Would you have really done it if I had asked you?
I mean, maybe, like, the vest is denim. It goes in the wash fine.
I like you, Sully. All right. Yeah, see, so now we get some of your own scent in there as well. The body heat warms it all up. I just have a hunch that this is the way to go with this thing.
Yeah, it sounds good. Do you really want to be, like, right next to me, though?
No. I mean, 40, 50 feet is probably fine.
Okay, everybody ready? So Sarah's already gone and done this for Cameron, but we need to make a difficulty 2 intellect roll. It's perceiving things. If you think you have something that relates, you probably do.
Would my wilderness lore relate at all?
Yeah, let's do that.
With my scan.
If you're going to do a scan, but then you're going to have to spend on it and so on and so forth.
Okay, so wilderness lore says it's an enabler. What's that mean?
Is it giving you a skill?
Yeah, it's an intellect, I believe.
Okay, so you're probably just rolling with a skill. So you're looking for that difficulty 1, but if you roll a 3 or less, you still get to trigger horror mode.
Okay. So I'm just clicking the skill instead of the stat then?
Sure.
I think.
Oh,
no?
You're all welcome.
Click the other thing. Sammy, I do love you. It's perfect. It's exactly what I asked for. Thank you.
Okay. I guess I'm just Yeah, I don't understand how special abilities work.
I think that in this case, it's not. It doesn't give you like a trained rating. So I would just make a normal roll, and then we're just going to look for a 1 or less.
Okay.
Just 1 or less.
Oh,
But that's not a 3.
True.
Okay, now I don't know if Scrat's prepared for this, but we're going to put the number up 1 at this point, based on the number of triggers we hit. So we're up at a 4. So you're in this park. This is a little too action movie right now. Let's try another one. There we go. That sounds good. Nothing bad will happen with that track. You're in the park. Everything's dead quiet. It's a normal park. It's a Sunday night. Everybody's gone to sleep a long time ago. It's just those few trailing people. But now, suddenly, across the front of the van, maybe 200 feet in the distance, there's a blur of white fur, like a platinum white, like almost gray. It's gone skipping, bounding across the park where you had just a second where you could track on it, and it is up and away. It's not here in Lafayette Park. It's going up the hill. It's going north. And while this is going on, if you had a camera out, you could try to take a shot right now. I guess Josie could also try to take a shot, but I was looking mostly for photos.
no, I'm after. Yeah, I don't have the weapon drawn at this point, so.
So what we're looking for is, this is a difficulty 4. Taking a photo like this is going to be a speed roll. If you want to make a speed roll on this, this is all about framing that shot quick, because that thing is moving. Okay, and if you have photo skills, you can use them.
Oh, I totally forgot. I don't think it matters anyway.
Well, no, just because of the roll number. Yeah. So the good news is we did not trigger any further badness, but...
Oh, I just rolled that.
Ooh, what are you doing to that poor beast?
Oh no, I was taking I've got a camera too.
Okay, so as long as it's that kind of shot...
No, I've got a camera.
Yeah, it's great. Do you want to talk about this?
I saw it exactly the way that you described it. I saw that flash, and you just Josie's kind of talking to you and getting things organized, and you just see her turn and pull the camera up and snap the shot, and then really quickly back down, looking at the monitor to see what I've gotten.
It's beautiful. You have a perfect freeze frame, mid-run, tail out in a full brush. It's a wolf. It is definitely a wolf like you've seen when you've gone to the zoo and so forth. But this wolf is standing height, probably at your eye level. How tall is Josie?
She's about 5'7".
Okay, so yeah, this wolf is about 5'5" standing height. It probably weighs 700 pounds, minimum, maybe 1,000 pounds. It is a large wolf. It is running at full speed, and it is going down the street in the exact direction you just drove from as you drove up here in the ice cream truck. Looks, yeah, I mean, basically towards HoroScoops.
I'm showing the monitor to the others. It's as tall as that car.
It's taller than me. Like, as you sort of like starts realizing.
It's headed that way. Maybe we should go.
Yeah, everybody, buckle in. I floor it. I'm going.
Yeah.
I'd like to put like the DuckTales music back on the ice cream van speakers, please.
Oh my gosh! I just
Like,
turned.
wrong tape. But like, yeah, it's definitely DuckTales.
I'm like, Darcy, we're gonna be best friends.
I'm pretty sure as soon as that track starts up, at the appropriate moment, Lewis and Sullivan both just go woo with the track.
So Cameron, here's your thing. You're driving this truck, right? You've got to keep this ice cream truck that has 2 seats in it on the road, and if you're trying to catch up to this beast, you're going to need that difficulty 4 roll to stay even with it.
Is Sullivan still on the roof?
That's a great question.
No, because I had gotten down and walked away to be the bait. So
Oh, okay.
if we're leaving, he probably jumps in the back and slams the door as the tires squeal. Banging into that hot waffle iron, probably.
So Cameron does like a, oh god, okay, back in the truck. And then like the moment she sees the last foot get off the ground and into the truck, she like shifts it into drive and then like kind of peels out. But it's a food truck, so it less peels and more gently accelerates forward while making like a sound, like that like awful puttering. And then there's like some of the equipment shifts a bit. And
So imagine this, if you will, as a route. You have to make an almost full U-turn, go down an alleyway, and you're going uphill.
oh, not ideal.
That's just for fun. That's just to think about how this is a level 4 roll to catch a werewolf in an ice cream truck.
Okay, and is this a speed roll?
It is a speed roll.
It is.
Okay. Would my assessing danger help at all in this?
So you're trying to give a boost to Sarah?
Oh, I was going
What I should
to.
say?
I feel like I'm in danger, so.
I tell you what, if you want to make a roll 2, sure. If you can get a roll, if you can get a difficulty 2 roll, you can be an assist to Cameron that's going to get you what you need to get where you need to be.
Because right now the car is, I think, like sputtering a bit, and like maybe we feel one of the wheels come up off the ground as she tries to make that quick turn, and it's not going super well.
Mm-hmm. So Darcy, do you want to... Okay, Alice, do you want to explain how Darcy is going to do something that's helpful here?
She screams, left, 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 left. She is just screaming directions, not actually physically doing anything, but she's sort of behind the driver's seat and wrapped herself around the headrest and the other half of it.
Now, in any other situation, this probably would not be a helpful scenario, but it's working. It's working right now, and that seems to be what matters. The wolf has gone bolting down this alleyway. You see it for a second. It jumps over a wall. You have to turn to the right. You're keeping parallel to it. It's definitely going uphill. You go up another block, and you're right there, just a block away from HoroScoops. You're just going to have to make a left turn. You see that wolf bolt. You can see the HoroScoops sign. The wolf runs at a full gallop towards the building, and there is this boom as it hits something tangible, and it bounces, and there's like a ripple of energy that goes out in the distance. There's a little bit of a glow to it as well. The wolf rolls over to its side, gets back up on its feet, snaps at it again, and about this time you guys have driven up to the building. What do you want to do? In fact, you know what? Let's do this. This is easier. The difficulty is 4. It's a speed roll. It's an initiative skill, so you guys already have that as one of your pre-populated skills. If you roll and you get over 4, you're going before the beast. If you get under 4, you're going after the beast. And if you want to add effort, etc., this is your chance to work that out. I would be happy to walk through the formula with you if you're interested.
So are we rolling on the initiative, or is it still just a speed roll?
Yeah, you're going to roll on the initiative because it'll do the same thing. It'll give you an untrained skill.
Oh, I see. Hang on.
Alice, you know I'm going to make you take that, right?
Yeah.
Hey, Scrat, can you move my counter up to 5, please, for this horror counter?
Ah, dang it.
Would my assessing danger, I'm gonna use this so much, I feel like, help it go down by 1?
For you, yes.
Okay.
And I also, I used my danger sense, which reduces the difficulty by 1 for initiative rolls.
I'm gonna do the same.
I'm so glad y'all are prepared for danger.
I am not. I am not.
Okay, so our general order of who's going first here is going to be... We're going to start out with Lewis, Then we're going to go to Sullivan or Allison, your choice. And then we're going to go to the Beast. And then we're going to go with Darcy. Am I missing somebody?
Cameron.
I think I'm last.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Which makes
Cameron,
sense.
then Darcy. Okay. So, what are we going to do? Lewis, there's a giant wolf that just bounced off a building.
Okay. This is gonna. Oh my. Okay. And we drove up, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna jump out and try to tackle this beast. Yes, I know it's 700 pounds. I know you said that. I'm gonna do it.
Sounds like a good choice. Okay.
It does.
It's a difficulty 4. You're trying to jump on this beast to subdue it, to hold on to it. What do you want?
Yeah, like kind of just like, I don't know, just get it to stop. Like, I guess it would essentially be like, yeah, like pinning it down. I guess that's what I'm trying to do. Just like pin it down.
So you need a might roll, difficulty 4.
Okay. Would assessing danger? No, I'm not gonna keep asking that. A might of 4, you said, right?
Yep, that's right.
Oh no.
All right. Okay, so Scrad, I need a 6 on the counter.
Oh my god.
Perfect.
I mean, I am totally responsible for all of this, so I'm just going to own up to it. But yeah, it's bad. So you run up, you try to grab hold of this wolf. The fur slips between your fingers. This wolf is oily and matted in the way that a real animal is. You can feel like that sweat that's coming off of its body underneath its fur. You roll, you fall down to the ground, you tumble a little bit. Go ahead and reduce your might pool by 1 from this 1 point of damage you take from falling and scuffing yourself. And I have one more interesting fun piece of business for you.
Wait, I have a question. Is it the pool or the current that I reduced by 1?
You're going to reduce the current.
Okay.
You never have to take your pool down for stuff.
Okay, I didn't know if this was one of those like. Okay, I didn't know if this was one of those like, like permanent HP goes down type of thing, or.
Yeah. That would be
Okay,
neat.
thank you.
Okay, let's not do that. So all this happens, you've fallen, you've rolled, you get back like maybe up on your hands. Your fanny pack is across the street. So we'll look forward to that in the next round. And we're going to move on to, did we decide if it's Sullivan or Josie?
It's me.
Okay.
Is the car still moving, or did we stop?
I think, like, as we see the wolf, maybe Cameron starts to, like, slam on the brakes, so there's a lot of, like, hectic motion.
Okay. Sullivan kicks open the back door and grabs the roof and pulls himself up and over to be on the top of the truck again. And I would like to use my attack, Seeds of Fury. So out of one of my pockets, Sullivan grabs a handful of something and throws it at the wolf. Ooh, the music got real loud. Turn that volume down.
Yeah, sorry about that.
So yeah, anyone watching sees just these 3 smoke trails curling towards the wolf from whatever Sullivan threw. Alrighty. Do I know what difficulty this is that I'm trying to hit?
Yep, it's staying difficulty 4.
Stay 4? Okay.
You can spend if you want to spend effort on it.
I would like to spend effort on that.
Sounds good.
Just the max of 1 right now, right?
Correct. So your intellect pool, you're going to reduce it by 3, so the current goes down by 3. The way you're doing it's fine. And then, yeah, we are all set.
success.
Nice. That worked out really well. So go ahead and describe this. How do you want this to go off?
So these 3 trails of smoke kind of spiraling with each other in a tight formation. When they strike the wolf's flank, there's this quick burst of fire. And it actually catches the wolf on fire. And the fire is green.
Okay, so green fire striking the flank of the wolf. Does anybody want to hear me make a wounded animal sound, or shall we just skip that and imagine there's a
totally want to hear it.
Yeah, okay. All right, we do like a yo! So the wolf, like, it's turning, it's startled, and now it's focused on you all in your ice cream truck. So that's a thing now. And it's Josie's turn.
Josie is, as we sort of slam to a stop, and I see Lewis go out one door and Sully goes out another door. I'm completely lost control of this situation, obviously. Great job first day as a manager. So now I'm just really want to make sure nobody dies. That feels like that would be really bad. So I think I'm gonna hop out of the side door. If nobody's gone out the side door yet, I am gonna jump out. And can I hold action in the system and wait to see if it attacks and then take a shot to defend somebody? I'm not ready to attack it yet, but I want to be prepared if it's going to attack one of the team.
So the creature's about to go right now, and it is going to attack somebody. So I think the only person it can see is Lewis, so it's going to attack Lewis. So look forward to that, but you've got your turn right now.
Yeah, she would not even hesitate here. So I think I will actually shoot at your poor wolf this time, Hans. I'm very sorry.
Well, that's all right.
Is that a speed?
That is a speed roll.
Okay. Does my practice with weapons apply to, does that do anything here other than the fact that I can use them?
So the downside is practice means you're at even level with weapons.
Okay, that's what I thought.
No one else here has any idea how that gun works, but you do.
Yeah. And the difficulty is?
So you're looking for a 4.
Is 4.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to use that effort.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So you take 3 off your speed pool, and then that's going to be 1 level lower.
Okay. And there goes. Success.
Nice. Okay,
Yep.
And you notice it does extra damage when you roll an 18 on the die. So this creature, and where do you hit it?
I hit it in the shoulder, kind of right where its neck is coming into its body.
Okay. This time the wolf does not yelp in surprise. It growls. It sounds mad. You get that. And it is looking directly at you now. So it was going to attack Lewis.
Yeah.
It's going to attack you instead.
And I'm yelling, Lewis, get out of there.
Yep. It's sprinting in your direction. It's tearing at the ground, and it jumps, and it's in the air. It's right at you. So again, I have no dice in this system. With a wolf attacking you, you make a speed defense roll if you want to not be there anymore.
I very much want not to be there anymore. Let's see. Just trying to make sure there's not something. And there's not. I don't think there's anything special that I can use here. And I already used my effort.
But you can do it again on this turn. This is now not your turn anymore.
Oh, I can use that effort again?
Mm-hmm. You can keep using it until you run out of pool, and then bad stuff happens to you.
Oh, no, I'm definitely using it then. So it's still difficult 4.
That's right.
There it goes. Success.
Good show. Good rolls tonight. So this one is big, and it's coming pounding towards you. It's running. It jumps right at you. Pause first. And how does Josie move?
I see it coming toward me, and it's a kind of a self-defense move, but it's not quite that coordinated. It's been a long time since I've had to do this. But I'm able to kind of use some of its momentum to push me out of the way, and I roll just a little down the hill from where it was going.
Okay. So you're good. Everything's good there. Cameron, you're inside the truck. You're behind the wheel. The truck shakes back and forth with the large, side-on impact of a wolf.
Oh my god. And she's just in her head thinking, I swear if they rip the decal on the front, okay, no, I'll just, and she puts the truck into park and starts to make her way kind of out the side door and takes a peek. And I guess, can I do I guess she largely hasn't been able to see any of what's going on. So I guess she sees this wolf wrecking up the side of her truck.
Yeah, it's like if you were in a park and then there's bears there eating the trash right outside of your car. This is in your face. There is fur and you can smell wet animal smell.
So she slams the door shut real quick and then does a okay, and then she looks back into the truck and she sees that waffle iron on one of the counters, and she gets out of the steering wheel area, moves to the back of the truck, grabs it by the handle and is now wielding it kind of like a mace, and will hop out the back of the truck and kind of have her weapon of choice, I guess, and be face to face with this wolf.
You are literally face to face with this wolf. The wolf's face is the size of your entire body. So yeah, it's huge, and you can see each of its individual teeth. It looks to you like they're about 6 inches long. Its eyes are huge circular pupils in its head. It's looking right at you. Are you going to hit it with this waffle iron?
I think she's holding it and is and she's still not convinced this is some kind of big terrible beast, and is but still wielding it kind of threateningly in front of it, and is okay, doggy, it's okay, you don't need to growl at us, and is trying to maybe soothe it.
You can certainly try that. You can definitely make that intellect roll.
I love the phrase "you can try."
I know, I felt like it was very appropriate to the situation.
Oh god.
I just want you to roll so that we can approach on that counter.
What is the difficulty of this?
It's always 4 for right now.
Okay.
So here's the good news. You've got this waffle iron. From the if we had this camera zoom around and take a look at you doing this, it looks a little cheesy, but this wolf is not interested. It wants none of it. It starts turning its head away from the truck, and if you had to guess, you would say it's about to bolt down the street. Let's move on to Darcy.
Well, Darcy was going to grab the waffle iron, so now she's panicking because her one weapon is gone. I think she sort of stands there. She starts panicking, realizing anything she could have thrown or used as a batting weapon is gone. So she's going to scoop up some handfuls of ice lollies and waffle cones and start to walk out of this ice cream van and sort of wave them because she doesn't know what to do. And if she gets the wolf's attention, she's gonna throw him. This is so
cool. So, Alice, for the stuff you picked, I just need you to make a 50-50 roll.
A 50-50 roll?
Yep. You can roll a D2, however you want to call it, but this really comes down to, is it good luck or bad?
One. Not one.
We didn't call it, did we? Okay, do you want evens or odds? We'll do this again.
I will go What? Hang on, we rolling again, or?
Yeah, we're gonna roll that
I
again
will
because
go
we didn't
evens.
discuss what it
I will
means.
go
Okay.
evens. Aha.
Hey. So I think that's more fair. So you got this handful of packaged ice creams, and you fall down the stairs. They're
Yeah.
going flying. And how does that work out for you?
I think she catches herself as she accidentally throws these strawberry flavored ice lollies everywhere. Sort of gets up, sort of forgetting where she was, brushing herself down and trying to pick them back up, and then looks over to where the wolf is.
So you've just kind of like scattered these out into the distance, and the wolf was like taking a step, hit an ice lolly with its paw, has like flipped over on its back, and it makes like a pained like "Arr!" again. And as it's rolling back over, it looks somewhat like shaken by this whole experience, and it's like doing a little limp.
May I take a photo of it whilst it falls over, please?
Well, now you're gonna have to make a speed roll for it. Yep.
Oh no.
It does stay on fire up to a minute unless it tries to put itself out.
I'm cooling it down with ice lollies. It's okay. Hang on. What was the difficulty? Sorry, 4?
Still 4. Yes.
4. Okay. I'm gonna spend effort.
Okay. It's reasonable.
Oh my gosh, Alex.
Well, at least it's an 8, and it's not anything else, so that's good. So,
Drop my camera.
yeah, you didn't get the photo. You have a picture when you look at it later. You have a wolf leg, you have an ice lolly, and part of a tongue, and nothing really recognizable in that mix.
Oh, I tried. She
You
literally
tried.
says that to herself, looking at it, going, I tried.
So at this point, this beast is definitely set away from you all. But we're back to the top where it's Lewis's turn. Lewis, you're on fire.
I'm on fire?
You're on fire. You have green fire running up your hands and up your arms. It's starting to go towards your chest. What are you going to do?
I'm gonna run for my fanny pack.
Okay. You do that.
I'm gonna put my fanny pack on.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna roll. Or I'm gonna drop and roll. I'm gonna
Drop
stop,
and roll.
drop, and then roll. Yeah.
Okay. That's what Lewis does. Let's move on. Okay. We're on Sullivan now, right?
Since the car doesn't seem to be moving at the moment, and you know what? Sullivan's just gonna run after the wolf.
Okay. So you also need to make that 4. It's a speed roll if you're going to be catching up to the wolf as it disembarks in its next round.
Success.
It's good. Okay, so you have the advantage of having been up high and in a good position. This wolf just rolled over a couple times. It's not looking its best. And you're going to be able to keep pace with it. So let's move on to Josie. What's Josie going to do?
If I see Lewis on fire,
Yes.
I'm gonna assist him and try to put that fire out.
Okay, great. As of this time, Lewis will no longer be on fire. So that's taken care of. Okay, the wolf begins running down the street. It turns and runs to the right. And as it goes down the hill, it's like accelerating. It's got kind of a weird run, like one of its paws looks a little hurt, but it is just going down the hill in the same direction, just came back up. Sullivan's chugging along behind it, and we are on Cameron's turn. Cameron, you got a waffle iron, you're standing in the street.
She's like having so much trouble processing everything that is happening. She's still half convinced this is a dog that got loose from the local shelter, and then she just sees it sprinting off, and she looks at the truck, looks at the wolf. Do we try to go after it in the truck, or I gotta go. And then she just starts running in the same direction, kind of on the heels of Sullivan.
Okay, you can similarly make a speed roll if you like. It's still difficulty 4.
And she will put, she's got adrenaline pumping. She'll put some effort into this.
Ooh. So let's talk about Cameron's never say die spirit. This is hard. You are on the middle of a street. There's a lot going on. It's not that cool. And you're running downhill very fast. How is Cameron taking all this?
So in her head, like everything's swimming and she's like sprinting ahead and she feels her feet almost start to slip out from under her like she's about to fall. But then something clicks in her mind. She's like, I've written about this 1,000 times. I know how to do this. You just kind of straighten your back a little bit and you move forward and you be very deliberate with your feet. And like all of a sudden she kind of like draws from these like experiences she's written about. And it kind of instills in her this like extra well of energy and confidence. And she just is pushing down the street as far as her feet will take her.
That's good. Okay, Darcy, you're on the street. All this is going on. What's your play?
Have we abandoned the ice cream van? As in, has it been left?
The keys are in the ignition.
Yeah, she's going, like, she's panicking a little bit, and then I'm assuming Lewis is still like on the floor. That is just sort of, I'm like,
Lucy's like patting him out.
Yeah, I'm like, oh God. And she sort of quickly gets like, opens the door and gets in the driver's seat and is like, get in the van. Like she screams at the others.
Are you turning that key?
Oh yeah, I'm putting my foot down. Cool. She doesn't know what she's doing, but she's gonna do it anyway.
Okay, roll a 50-50 and tell me if you like evens or odds.
I'll go for evens again. Oh no.
The key snaps off in the ignition.
I look back and go, now what? Like, I start to panic.
I was hoping that was going to happen just because I wanted to get that moment. Oh, that's so good. Thank you. Okay, so that's your move. The wolf is running into the night as this all goes on. Okay, is Sullivan going to try anything as this wolf continues to accelerate down the hill?
I'm going to try and tackle it.
Okay. I gotta warn you, you're running downhill, you're in the middle of the street, and you're following a wolf.
You know what? I am brash, but also I'm not necessarily dumb, so I'm gonna roll a D2, and odds I tackle, evens I stop. I stop chasing it.
The moment you stop, you hear this wah as a city bus pulls directly between you and the wolf. By a hair, you feel the wind just brush by your face. Yes. Okay, Cameron. Sullivan's just pulled up short. You've only ran down about half a block.
So can she still see the wolf in the distance?
It is now very distant because of that bus that's just gone by.
So seeing that Sullivan has like pulled out, her feet kind of stop beneath her, and she'll very quickly go for her cell phone and try to use the like shitty cell phone camera on her iPhone or whatever to snap a picture of it there.
Go for
it. Speed roll, still 4?
Yep, still 4.
Okay. We'll do effort again.
Mm-hmm. And that's our number right now too, guys.
No dice.
You go for the picture. You don't get it. Your phone falls out of your hand. It goes down the street. It's just like clattering down the street. You see it go into the sewer grate as this is going on. We're going to stop here. We're actually going to de-escalate all of our music and all of our everything. That last moment is that phone going into the sewers. No, we got to do back to the theme song. We got to bring it back.
No.
Yeah. So we got kind of in the moment. We're at the end. Think about where we're at. We have two people running down the middle of a San Francisco street, downhill. A city bus is passed in front of them. There's a wolf running somewhere in the distance, bleeding, on fire. Back at HoroScoops, you didn't even go inside. Who knows what's going on with that magical barrier? There's an ice cream truck outside, parked shoddily in the middle of the street with the key snapped off. There's a young man who was just on fire on the ground. Josie, you're taking your hands up. None of Lewis's clothing is touched. His skin is totally intact. He's just clutching this fanny pack to his waist. He's fine. And with all that going on, we're going to be done for the week.
My phone!
I know it's been said, but can we stress that Lewis was on fire and had a fire extinguisher and did nothing?
It's literally the only thing I have in my equipment. It's a fire extinguisher.
Oh my god.
It probably doesn't fit in the fanny pack, though.
Oh.
No. That's true.
Your dad's going to leave it outside his condo with your name on it.
Property of. Wow, yeah. So thank you so much, Hans, and thank you everyone else. This was an amazing first episode. I'm already so excited for next week. Otherwise, please check out the links that are coming up in chat now. Scratch just told me we don't have credits yet, so let's go around and say hi to everyone. Hans, do you want to lead or?
Okay, yeah, I'm Hans. You can follow me on Twitter if that's something you want to do. There's a link that always gets dropped in the chat if that's something we're still doing. Cool. If not, I will be back here next Wednesday for more of this craziness with this crew, because that's all I want. We're on Sarah.
My name is Sarah. This was my first game being a part of a regular season, and boy howdy, could I not have asked for any more. I was laugh crying for the whole first hour and a half. You can find me on Twitter at Sarah Elkinney.
Good show. Okay, Allison.
Amazing. Loved every second. I cannot believe I've ended up somehow in charge of this ragtag disaster crew. I love it. I love it all. You can see all the other stuff I'm doing on Twitter at Allison Robinson with 2 L's and a Y. Got some Star Trek going on, got some Urban Shadows going on. Lots of fun stuff coming up this season.
Very cool. Okay, Alice.
Oh, hi, I'm Alice. I'm also White Rabbit Pick on Twitter. That is where you can find me. I am the other half of the Scratticus Academy. And is it Wednesday yet? Because I really want to play this again so much. Our awkward disaster children group in their own, basically not quite mystery machine. But yeah, I love it.
What's going to happen with that ice cream truck with that key snapped off?
I think Darcy's going to cry when Cameron finds out.
Oh, man. Okay, Sam, you're up.
I'm Sammy. You can find me on Twitter, Smallish Sam. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I love our group. Everybody's, I don't know. I have so many words. I told you guys I'm really just playing myself. So this is actually how I talk. But yeah, I'm so excited for next Wednesday.
Hey, Mal, you get to take it home.
I'm Mal Hidale. You can find me on Twitter there at Mal Hidale. I had a whole lot of fun. I was so excited to play today. Part of making Sullivan is that he's brash. So my goal is to act first, think later. And hopefully I did that today by jumping on things and lighting things on fire. Sorry, Sammy. This week, you can find me 2 shows in a row at our friends Tales from the Grim, where I'm doing the Friday Night Frights double feature. 2 spooky games with some great people. I'm excited. And yeah, I can't wait to be back next Wednesday.
Awesome. Okay, Alice, are we going to do the thing where we go into Discord and people can post their theories there?
Yeah, people come like screaming into the Discord, tell us your favorite bit, the most ridiculous bit, or just like, what are your theories with what's going on? Because I don't know what's going on. But yes, please check out the links that are coming up in our chat now. A huge thank you to our wonderful sponsors, Bird in the Storm and Mage Hand Press. Otherwise, please come join us screaming into the abyss that is the Discord chat for this. And
I will... Yeah,
Yes.
I'll answer all the questions that get directed to me in the character of Agatha.
Yes, please.
Yes, I'm going to ask so many questions. But yes, thank you so much. And we will see everyone next week to see what the hell is happening. So keep evoking emotions. Bye.